That ad that I haven't had up ever on my own streams.
Eyes up, internet.
I've been putting it on the streams.
I saw that.
There's an ad that you guys have?
Yeah.
For the T-Dude, we put a little screen up for our away screen. We have away screens, but we also have that.
I'll just start using that.
Wait, what? Why'd they use a Wilhelm scream? A Wilhelm scream?
Who?
Because it's free.
I guess that's true.
Use the Wilhelm scream for what?
In this ad that... Oh, here we go. I was gonna say, it says you're live, but I can't see anything.
What?
Hang on. I think it's just Twitch being weird.
Yeah,
There we go, now
Came
it's
up
working.
just fine for me.
Because it also played an ad for me, even though I'm sub to you.
That happened to me earlier. And it was an ad against vaping.
That's what I got too.
I mean, hey, there's a lot of places now. I have never touched any object like that.
All right,
And-
kids, vaping is bad.
What?
Like, that's just what it is. All right. Stream's up for
Jason?
me.
Yeah, it's up for me now too. I
You're
just
testing out the roles for his.
posted my 11th
reindeer.
month. Been subscribed for 11 months.
Congrats, man. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Oh man, I have no bits to share. What hell am I gonna do today?
I'll
have to go
share.
pick something up.
Let's see, we'll do the unicorn chair.
What does operator request mean?
That's for
It's when
Siege.
we're playing Siege, and I know a lot of characters, and I don't like some of them.
Okay.
All right.
Should we change up that name? Should it become character request?
No,
So it's less
because,
specific, and we can make it
I-
pick things in other games.
I don't think there's any game on the roster right now where that would actually affect things.
I mean,
'cause-
Overwatch.
But do you do Overwatch when it's not like practicing specific roles?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Hey, I mean, I'm in DPS role, and you make me choose a different DPS. Maybe my life sucks.
Oh.
All right.
I mean, who do you hate?
Well, you can't tell him.
All right.
Hanzo only run.
I think he
I
enjoys
gotta go
that.
find your
Hanzo
stat.
man only. All right. Well, welcome everyone to another evening of Sparklemotion's Dances with the Stars Best Adventurers Edition Bachelorette.
Yes.
I got nothing.
Wait, who's the bachelorette?
Me.
I'm gonna give the necromancer a rose.
That might be the. Maybe that's the key to winning his heart over.
Yes.
You've solved my really weird dating
solved
game
my
show
riddle.
riddle.
Is this a dating sim? Is this just turned into a dating sim now?
It always has been. You guys have just been really bad at it.
A dating sim with swords.
And
And arrows.
That would be kind of genius to do like a D&D campaign, but it's secretly a dating sim and you just don't tell the players.
I hear a no, not really from us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, where did we leave off?
Well,
Yeah, I'm back. Holy shit.
last time we found ourselves at 11 a.m. on the 20th of the Claw of Sunsets. Oh wait, where's my year? Have I not been recording the year? Oh my gosh, guys, it's 1495 DR. This is important.
Like, what does
Dude,
the DR stand for?
Oh, I don't. Dale Reckoning.
I don't know what that is.
Dale Earnhardt.
You probably do, actually. The Reckoning was a cataclysmic event of 1495 years ago.
We passed 5 different cataclysmic events on the cart ride here.
Oh yeah, like it's
Ugh.
Yeah,
know,
but they didn't make the
eventually-
headlines.
Eventually, they just held to a calendar. And they're like, you know what? We're just gonna
Our
stick
inn
to one.
has a clear view of a major catastrophic event in Jerk's backstory.
Right, yeah, and it can be a thing at any time, so you just gotta be careful. But last time we found ourselves at 11 a.m. in the 20th Claw of Sunsets. After defeating a dragon, the party had a very long discussion about how and where to move the dragon's body, and who they might contact to help them move it, and how they who they might help to contact and how they might contact them. Jerk and Chance considered sending a letter to the Zentrum, but lost interest once Tyre mentioned that they'll want a cut. Discussion ensued. Taliesin was worried about the politics of Neverwinter's governance and the Temple of Bahamut between the two of them, preferring to avoid it. Discussion ensued. Godwald, concerned about the corrupt head priest in the temple, wants to send the letter directly to his mentor with his name on it, and comes up with a plan to hide a letter from him inside the note to Tyr's Zentrum contact. Discussion ensued and was agreed upon. Then Jerk and Taliesin realized the party could use the Qual's feather token to summon Magic Bird and carry the dragon's corpse to Neverwinter. Discussion ensued. But first, they wanted to find the Dendar family heirloom that Jerk had been searching for before they tried to take one of the carts they saw in the old town square. It was convoluted. But with a plan in motion, you easily found the location of the item thanks to an earlier detect magic spell that I think was from Taliesin? Or was it
Yeah.
from... Okay. After weeks of not being able to remember, Jerk, seeing the rotted sign of an herb, recalled that the Dendar family ran the herbalist shop in town. He found a decayed wooden chest inside was a necklace engraved with the image of Tymora, which he immediately put on. The party then investigated the carts. Jerk, Taliesin, and Godwald getting the feeling that they recognize the cart as belonging to, or a cart belonging to a Red Wizard of Thay, recalling a previous encounter with one who was a necromancer. Ixavix, meanwhile, related a large amount of information about the land of Thay and history of the Red Wizards from a book he read once. After watching zombies emerge from one of the nearby buildings, Jerk and Taliesin, who was employing his newfound magical boots, snuck around the building and looked inside, finding 2 red wizards and several undead minions. Recognizing Haman Kost, the necromancer they had encountered near Old Owl Well, and the entrance to an extra-dimensional space that they had once traveled through, causing them to kind of lose 2 years' time in the rest of the world. 2.5. After the most awkward and tense of greetings, the party talked to the Red Wizards. During this conversation, the aforementioned Old Owl Well incident was brought up, and upon finding out that the party had passed through the gate that he had uncovered, Haman agreed to discuss with them what the party might want in exchange for information about the location of the object that was hidden within. And we now find ourselves at around high sun or noon on the 20th of the Claw of Sunsets, 1495 DR.
Hey, Jared, can I have the name of the other red wizard? I know he said it, but I don't have it in my notes.
Yep, it was Asbarajos. I will type it.
Cool. Thank you.
I don't think you guys... Oh, yeah, he did. He did introduce himself and provided his last name.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So that is where we find ourselves. Is there anything you guys want to do / talk about, discuss before we jump in?
So we want to know more about. So we're trying to learn more of their actual goals that they've been shady about in our discussions. Because to be clear, they have that right as random travelers and foreigners, and they want to know where the belt went, which we last saw walking off with
True.
Drew.
yes,
King Droop.
yeah,
King
that's
Droop.
which might be our next most urgent issue once we deal with the dragon cult stuff back at the city.
Yeah.
That
So
might be
it's
the
kind of
next
a
most
win-win
urgent
just to tell
major
them
regional
what's up.
issue.
So many
Which,
urgent issues. They just-
It is in some way our fault. I mean, I feel like none of these issues are urgent and like they're about to explode, but that all of them are changing the region in a way we don't want, which was the main reason we came to get the dragon in the first at this right now, which because it was changing the region. Isn't that right, Taliesin?
Yes.
Like it wasn't an imminent threat, but it was hurting the forest at a gradual rate that would be a bigger problem if we didn't do it now. And so now there's a
Based on
goblin
my
army.
previous visions, yeah, it would have been a pretty big deal.
Hey, and I'm gonna have that inner turmoil of do I tell the church about the goblin army when I have the tattoo and like the gods and like that's I'm gonna set that aside as much as possible. So how much do we tell them?
Or a branding.
That
Right.
doesn't make it better.
Yeah, that was kind of what I showed
Mhm.
You
these
showed
two in order
Yes,
to
just now,
convince
and
them.
it's got residual magic and whatever the hell on that. That's
I wanted to definitely give you guys the opportunity to chat about it before we jumped in there because
it's like this is I'm picturing
Yeah,
this
you
as they go back in the
lost-
house, and I'm like, we're like, okay, how much do we tell them?
Well, so
I vote.
I guess
we're
what is
just,
our
I
Oh.
vote we're just honest with them about like
Still can't hear you,
everything.
Sarah.
Oh, there she goes.
I would prefer you not discuss what you're going to say because that so much is really kind of you just saw them and it happened. But
Fair.
stick around what you know. And if you don't know things or you have questions, I can fill in the gaps. So your characters would remember from what was
Like-
essentially a month ago.
It's like goblin inscription, portal, temple, creepy stuff in temple, belt in temple, mind in belt, mind on
people.
goblin.
would any
Uh,
of us?
There were fish people that
There's
you've
the-
now seen in the river recently.
Fish. Oh wait. Oh yeah. God makers. That's
Yes.
That's
Well,
another
I was
wrinkle.
going to
That's a
ask:
problem.
does any one of us know what their abilities are?
Well, we know that they can cast. Well, we know there were fields there that could nullify magic.
Right, but does any of us know the abilities, the extent of the abilities of the fish people? Because
Like
I
that
don't.
one video. No, I don't. There was a roll at the time, and it was not high.
Okay, because I think Taliesin is working off of the understanding of thinking that that this belt and this crown just made Droop a god, but me, the player, knowing a bit more about these things, but my character doesn't know that, so I honestly don't know what the actual answer is either. Like, it could have been the belt and the crown too. Like, I don't know. I have no idea.
I would say that what you witnessed from those two items was that when Droop had the crown long enough, he went from being a goblin to being a bugbear.
Yeah.
And the powers you witnessed around the belt was you saw, I mean, there was the anti-magic field in the temple and the tomb.
Mhm.
Well, you guys would know, maybe remember, I think from the inscription or something later, the tomb of Arthendal. There was the anti-magic field in there. It was able to move once it was touched. It was able to move and attach itself to a person. Jerk. when he went to pick it up. It attached itself to him. It spoke to him. It hurt him when he didn't do what it wanted it to do, and it healed him when he did what it wanted him to do. I don't think you saw much. I don't think there was much else in the ways of like magic surrounding that. There were the fish people. Fortunately, we didn't know much about the fish people, and I don't think you have since inquired with anyone else about who and what those are.
There was a carpet that was trying
I
to
don't-
kill us.
Oh yeah, there's living carpets. There's living carpets and suits of armor. They're also guarding
Yeah.
the belt.
Yeah,
Um,
Ixavix
as well as
probably
the
doesn't
people.
know about any of these tales, any of these adventures.
Yeah, Ixavix and Chance were unless I don't remember you guys telling them much about your. Maybe a little bit like, hey, we jumped into another dimension and popped back out, but I don't think much of the details about it.
I think I've
basically all
mentioned,
I
yeah,
know.
we kind of accidentally released a god at one point. I
Hmm.
was like, don't worry about it, it's fine.
Yeah,
But
and then
we
when
never really went into detail.
yeah,
You're like, yeah, these things happen.
the crown was what allowed you to pass through the portal both
Mhm.
times
Yeah.
into the extra dimensional space and out of it. And once it was out of it, King Droop, wearing the crown and the belt, went forward, and the fish people, the remaining suits of armor, I think you destroyed all the carpets, all followed him. So I think that was about what you saw there, and then kind of went like, we're gonna put a pin in that while we deal with some other things.
Like the time skip.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I think took a minute to. Which you realize something had happened because it was one season when you left and a different and winter when you came out.
Yeah.
I mean, not much of a winter in the Neverwinter wood. Like you see snow and it melts before it hits the ground, kind of thing. But for the area,
It's not just an expression. It's-
not just an expression here. Yeah.
So
Not in this world.
okay.
It's
I
not like
mean-
the Sunshine State. It gets cloudy there sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I have a general knowledge of what exactly happened, and I know that they want to know about the belt. They may know some more about this. I mean, yeah, because this is going to be also the first time we're kind of discussing any of this in front of Ixavix or a Chance. So that'll be fun.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could help with the conversation, but not much.
I mean,
can
there might
do.
be things that your character knows that we aren't aware of.
Yeah, because I do have proficiency in history and religion and arcana, so that might help out.
And you were on the boat when these fish people popped up once before.
Nope.
No, you weren't?
No.
No, we just met him in the forest.
That's
Yeah,
right.
You met me
right.
with what's his name, the Frogman. Where is he?
Ixavix.
Radoff.
Ixavix, roll me a D100.
Oh boy. Okay. Let me go into here. D100.
All
30.
right. Yeah. While you and I went with the lower than higher number on that, so cool. Yeah. Well, I give you a 33% chance, and you hit below 30. Congratulations.
Neat.
So yeah, good roll. You and Radoth during your adventures wandering in the Neverwinter Wood have seen some of these fish people. So if they bring it up, you might have a chance to know more about them.
Okay. If they bring it up.
In fact, you can even roll. We'll come to it if the time happens.
Okay.
One other thing that I don't really remember is, I know he branded us with the Mark of Gramouche. Did Droop specifically say that like he was Gramouche, like reincarnated somehow or something like that, or
He went
never
on
said
about
anything like
he went
that?
on about being the king.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss that. That would probably be pretty important to bring up.
Totally fair.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm ready.
All right, cool. So I'll bring you guys over to a Thunder Tree map. Find yourselves in the lower right. Inside cabin with Asbara, Haman, and this very, very pale-looking skeleton-faced gentleman. Discount Skeletor.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed
Dollar
the
Tree
table.
Skeletor.
Oh boy.
I really wanted this other table up, so you can ask me about that. Oh, there it is. All right, so we find ourselves in a southwesternmost building in the ruins of Old Thunder Tree. Asbara Haman have invited you in to sit down. They recently asked what your reason for being here was and killing the dragon. You replied and seemed to them to collectively agree that you were there to bring balance to the forest, whereas this creature had caused some significant imbalance. When they were asking, and then they asked you kind of what you wanted. But so Asbara, in response, since you have shared your reasons here, I feel you have an interest in and the sense of and in the spirit of equivalent exchange to provide you with our reasons here. As we have mentioned, Jared, where do you keep all your notes? Everybody writes different locations.
What?
I'm talking to myself.
Oh, okay. Where's rhubarb?
Thunder Tree. Scroll, find the right thing. Ha! I feel that we, in the sense of, I said it right the first time, in the spirit of equivalent exchange, to tell you a bit about why we've come. We mentioned that we're looking for objects of great power in order to bring back to our homeland. But there is quite the dire emergency, well, troubling times, I should say, happening in our homeland. And Haman butts in. Yes. You see, it's a bit of a story, but there is someone who has taken over our country, made things much worse, ruined much of our infrastructure, and is destroying our culture as we speak. We wish to remove him and save the people of our land from the wizard lord known as Zostam. I'm sure none of the history of my homeland would interest you, but it is. He is.
I am, but yeah.
But this is the succinct. That would be the succinct version, unless you have questions.
I've never heard of this wizard lord. Have any of you heard of this Zostom?
Yeah. Would Ixavix have heard of Zoston in
Sure.
his history books?
Yeah, you had that pretty high history check before that was real high on the Red Wizards. Go ahead and roll me a history check with advantage to kind of
Nice.
keep rolling off that real high one.
Okay, there's one. It's 21 for the first roll. Okay, 21.
Okay. You have heard of him as the Wizard Lord, and you know that the Wizard Lord is someone who sits over the 8 mage guards known as the Thayan Knights. It was a very old book as well, and so your Zastam must be a very old person.
I'm sorry, that was called the 8 mage what?
The 8
Mhm.
mage guards known as the
Guards.
Thayan Knights.
Okay.
If you want him,
Okay.
he'll tell you, he'll recount history to you. He's offering. If you
Like,
want
I,
to
I
know.
know a little bit about him. And then I recount that. And from recalling this, does it do I have any knowledge or remembrance of like what kind of person he was, like what kind of personality he had, or what kind of outstanding qualities he had? Like,
No, it's more a history book piece that kind of
okay,
talking about them and their land, and
okay,
maybe a bit that he was a leader during a civil war.
okay. I recall that. I recount that out loud.
Well, yes, that is true. Here, let me tell you a bit about our land and where we're from. The history of Thay is one of research and knowledge. Our country made most famous by our wizard colleges, each focusing on a school of magic, conjuration, necromancy, evocation, abjuration, transmutation, divination, enchantment, and illusion. Each school offers up its most learned and powerful students to the state, forming the 8 mage guards. Each of these groups known as Thayan Knights, the backbone of our country's military might. In the mid 14th century, Red Wizards were divided amongst themselves into 2 separate ideological groups. The influential imperialists, who sought to conquer Faerun by military might, subterfuge, or any other means necessary, and the researchers, who took a more isolationist stance, preferring to focus on arcane research within the safety of the Thayan Plateau. Fighting broke out in our country, dwindling the population, and a single powerful leader emerged, the Wizard Lord Zastam, who embraced the military's might of the Imperialists and a few hundred years ago led the Thayan Knights to conquer many of the nearby countries. Thay came to be known for domination, a nation who owed their power to being cruel slavers, demonologists, and arcane experimenters, dedicating themselves to undeath. In the last 50 years, some of our scholarly researchers have begun banding together to unseat Zastam, as they confirmed a terrible secret. And he kind of stops and pauses there, but without almost missing much of a beat, Asbara picks up. Not because I'm tired of talking in his voice. Zos had used the subjugation of nations as a cloak to disguise his ascent into becoming a lich. Rumors began to spread that he may even have started to turn his captains, each of those Thayan Knight groups, into vampires and lich of their own in order to increase his powers. In the face of this death and destruction, even within the colleges, the dead and the undead on the streets, several leaders within the schools conceived plans to escape the capital in search of the means to overthrow the Wizard Lord and turn the country away from its militant path, back to uncovering the secrets of the multiverse. We wish to find artifacts of power that may help us unseat Zastam, this Wizard Lord.
Wow, that is a noble cause. Insight check to see if they are actually on the side of good and righteousness, I guess, instead of the researchers instead of the imperialists.
Okay.
I want to know, like, because they know that we're righteous people that are trying to bring good to the world, and maybe they're lying to make themselves like, oh, we're good people too. That's why we want this stuff.
Mhm.
I want to do an insight check to see if I
Are we,
can.
man? I only give a fuck about the trees.
Yeah.
I heard Oz.
Oh, here I am with a bad insight, but I'm gonna do that anyway.
I
Yeah,
would
you
like to
can go
be
ahead.
the other person to do that.
All right.
Just-
with
just
his
a
ring of
13.
truth telling.
Yes, I would like to use that. Yes.
Go ahead, good sir.
Typity typity.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. Their story seems to be genuine. But the bit about whether or not they are doing it for good would certainly be something that they did not mention, so it would be they couldn't say if they were lying or anything about that.
Mm.
So nothing that
But they
said.
do seem nothing's they've said is untruthful, but or at least in any way seems to you, and
I mean,
they
some of the
have
most important parts they said there were rumors, and maybe there were rumors, but that doesn't mean that was actually true. But enough of it makes sense that
Mm.
as long as none of what they said that they knew about was known to them to be false, I'm still willing to keep listening about this. Yeah.
sure.
What I guess I don't know. I have not done an insight check. So you guys, if I'm getting the kind of gist based on how Godwald is reacting, that they are seemingly telling the truth.
You turn to Godwald to give him the eye, knowing the magical item he's just picked up. He gives you a nod. Maybe.
Okay.
Does that work?
Checks out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds right.
All right.
So I turn back to them and I say, well, that doesn't sound unreasonable. I could understand why you would want to overthrow these things, and I understand. I know that we have had some bad blood in the past as we have attacked you, Haman, but you have to understand that if you are turning commoners into zombies for labor, we're gonna stop that. We can't just let that happen. It's, we didn't understand your situation, but we can't just let that kind of stuff happen. I mean, is there?
Well, he wasn't doing that though.
Well,
From my understanding.
The commoners were just getting too close. They were being killed by the zombies, and then
Right, but he was like letting it happen, and he knew.
Yeah, he wasn't
happening.
taking any steps to stop that from happening. It's like, oh well, I guess I have more zombies now.
yeah,
Right, and
From what we understand.
From what I gathered, though, I think it was less malicious and more, he just didn't give a shit.
Well,
He
that's
wasn't-
what I'm saying. It's like he.
So like
So-
complacency, but still.
All right, so
Yeah.
you say
It was a
that
passive
to
evil instead of active.
you say that to Haman. Listen to their story,
Yeah.
and he turns to you. He's, is this why you attacked me? Is in order to get revenge for strangers whom you don't know, who wandered too close to something far too dangerous for their own good?
So
I'm just-
Jerk's gonna cut in, and he's just gonna say,
Okay.
"Well, Haman, you know how you're fighting for your land? Well, those people were part of our land. We're doing the same thing you are. And if you move against our people, we have every right to defend them and get
Right.
revenge for what you've allowed to happen. So, while what you're doing is very noble, please tread with a bit more caution."
We're just asking. It's all water under the bridge now. I just wanted to clarify why there was this misunderstanding previously.
He pipes up, seeing that it's like the school of necromancy is something that is so poorly misunderstood by the common man. Only wizards who learned of our magics really can. But I can assure you that when I raise the dead, their souls have already passed on. And it's simply a tool for me to use at the end of it. such
Oh.
as when you chop down a tree, it has no life. A fallen body has no soul.
That's all good and all, and I agree with that, actually. But from what I understand, I wasn't there, but from what I understand from my allies, people were just going about their business, didn't know there was a danger there. You were the danger, and your zombie cohorts killed them, and you added them to your ranks. You can see how on the outside you set up a danger that was unbeknownst to innocent folks, and they paid the price, and you benefited from that,
It's
from what I understand.
I just wanted to clarify that is why the things that happened in the past have happened. Now that we understand kind of what's going on, I just wanted to clarify.
Perhaps there's some cultural difference here I do not understand. Is there something you want from me?
No, I just wanted to let you know that was why we had this misunderstanding in the past. So it's just about clarification.
Can I ask you a question then? Thank you.
So you guys are after objects of great power, presumably to overthrow this man who's trying to become a lich.
We believe he has. We believe he has already obtained this power. He's lived far longer than any mortal man should.
And they're out and about conquering.
By my estimates, he would be roughly 300 years old. And nothing I taught in my school of necromancy, which is a fight against death, so that we can find the power that lies beyond it and to keep it permanently at bay. Well, we teach no such magics.
I respect that.
All we know of is lichdom.
Well, maybe we should address Asbara to save Jared's voice.
It's fine. I mean, he just answered the question. It's not so bad this time. I don't know. I'm not choking like I was last week or the week before. So, also water.
I can understand wanting to stop somebody who is overthrown your culture and your government and is imperializing the surrounding nations. I assume they would not stop in the face of trying to take over here.
We believe, Asbara, they had already conquered much of the lands around, many of the countries around it. And it seems that now, as we've understood it, that was simply a shroud to mask this wizard's quest for this power. By causing this war and taking the many lives that he had, he has gained this ability to become this undead and undying creature.
So he's not looking to conquer more? Is that what you're saying?
Rather differently, in the last 100 years, he's simply stopped expansion and is tearing Thay apart from the inside now.
Yeah.
Wizards in our schools disappear, found dead.
Who knows how that's going to affect the world a decade from now, 2 decades, 50 years, 100 years from now, like if this continues to happen. From my reading of history, how does the rest of the world view the Red Wizards of Thay? Like, prior to these events, were they thought of as kindly? Were they thought of as dangerous? Were they thought of as aggressors prior to this kind of stuff?
World, do you mean like here on the Sword Coast, or do you mean the areas that were surrounding Thay before they were conquered?
Big map. big
I was
map.
gonna
map,
say,
you would want
don't
to
we?
know where
Doesn't somebody have that?
they would be.
I think Oddwald has a big ass map.
My map
Yeah.
doesn't go all the way to Thay.
It does actually. In your
does.
Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. Also,
Yeah.
I did a thing. I did a little compilation maps. Would you like to check out compilation maps?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ba-ding!
Nice.
So-
Ooh.
So the top two are the maps
Oh, that
we're-
map,
we're,
yeah.
we're
Look,
in,
this is where I'm from.
right?
Okay.
Which is a much smaller dot. And if you think of Phandalin here, you can scroll down and see Phandalin here compared to Neverwinter. So it's kind of zoom out pretty well. You guys also picked up a map of the north from the Keepers of the Horde in Fernlam Mondath's chamber.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in here you do have this some information, so you can see Thay is a very, very far away land.
Yeah.
Where is it? I'm trying to see on here where it is. Like, which of the 4 maps is it?
The top right
Okay.
one.
Top right one. Okay, I see over there.
Go further
Okay.
east than most people go in a lifetime.
Yep. They have traveled a great distance to come to the Sword Coast,
Okay.
looking for this artifact. So that would be what you would know from your thing. So to answer your question, and I'll bring you guys back to your Thunder Tree map, unless you are pulling out these maps during your conversation.
I'm not
Which
at the
you can.
table. I don't
Which you
think I
can.
would do that. I wouldn't think of it.
But yeah, so what you would know though is that in general, Res Wizards of Thay were our notorious magicratic ruling class of an inhospitable land. And just as he mentioned, as they came to be feared as cruel slavers, demonologists, and arcane experimenters, that's been going on for
Since
hundreds of years at this point.
since Zostan took over.
Yeah.
But before that, they weren't known to be that way.
Well, before that, they were known to be a
Still in an inhospitable land, still eccentric mages.
Just insular,
land, but
like
yeah,
not a big danger.
right. Just
Okay,
a lot of wizards known
Cool,
for their
cool.
wizard schools.
Yeah.
So only since Zostan took over had they been the bad guys.
So
Yeah, it was about the mid 14th century that the country was split in between essentially a civil war.
Okay,
right.
It's been
Cool.
some time.
So I understand.
Actually, no. That would make Zostam about 500 years old. Is my mistake on the.
That is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, now that we see your point of view, guys, what do we get for our information on a couple of these items of power?
That's
Well, we are exchanging information. You offered to us that you knew its location and what your purpose was here in the Neverwinter Woods and at the Old Well. We've offered that what our purpose is here as well. If you had more questions for us on that topic, I feel confident in answering them for you, but is there, we could certainly discuss what information would you want in exchange for the information of this item? You know its location.
We have a general idea, yes. There may be some trouble surrounding it. When do you remember that goblin that was with us? He had that crown last time we met. Well, the crown made him a bugbear and allowed us through the portal. He has the belt. He's somewhere in the woods, and he's a lot more powerful now. I'm assuming from my experience with the belt that he has become possessed by it, because he was mumbling about being the king when he wandered off with a group of enchanted armor, a bunch of weird fish people, and we kind of left to pursue other things and figure out what we were going to do next.
Well, that's kind of my question is, what we know of this belt, what do you know of this belt? And also, what other... this is the only one that we know of. Are there other objects of great power that you are looking for,
Well,
that you know of?
what about
Yeah,
the
we can
big
keep an eye out.
what about the big robot thing that the giants are trying to put together? We found one bone and it took like a couple of us to carry off.
So
Let's
We don't know what that does.
let's leave that as a different topic.
Haman speaks up. I would be very interested in the story. I can tell you a bit about the history of this belt, if you'd like to know a story.
Well,
Absolutely.
You said before that it had the mind of the wizard who made it.
Perhaps if I tell you what legends brought us here, you will tell us what happened to you on the other side of this gate in Arthendal's tomb.
That sounds fair to me.
Certainly. Aspara? Yes. So, Arthendal was a Netherese wizard of ages past, who made a deal with the evil god Gramouche in exchange to raise a horde of his worshippers up and tear down the Church of Tyr. Oh my god, now I did it. The Church of Tyr. Gramouche promised to create a devastating anti-magic weapon and provide Arthendal with eternal life. Unfortunately for Arthendal, those promises became one and the same, sealing his soul in a magical belt. Arthendal, who was a human wizard, used his considerable magics to bolster Gramouche's horde and empower his orc champion, Goldock, who would later become the agent of his betrayal. On his deathbed, Goldock dubbed the item the Band of the King, as he was privy to a piece of information. The item was stowed away behind a magical door, which led to the same space it was created in by Gramouche's priests and Arthendal, deep below his tower. The key to this lock being the wreathed nail crown which he possessed. When the ceremony of its creation required a powerful soul, Arthendal knew Gramouche had sent his champion as this material, but Goldock stepped through the gate, leaving Arthendal as the fuel, planning to later retrieve the belt as a weapon for himself. Goldock and his forces were later destroyed by Gramouche, midway through the campaign to eradicate the temples and worshippers of Tyr. As the god of destruction saw the betrayal by his champion, lusting after power to become a demigod himself, Gramouche would bear no followers who wished to obtain the power to challenge him. The crown fell to the next orc, then the next, as they battled one another throughout history to become the next champion of Gramouche. Eventually, their numbers diminished and weakened. The goblins came with their own horde and wiped out the kingdom of the orcs, claiming to be the chosen race of Gramouche. And at that point, the crown was lost.
Well, I think we found it, actually. So the whole reason that we were able to get through this portal was this little goblin friend of mine by the name of Droop. He was with us when we first encountered you. He was wearing that crown, and it allowed us to open this portal. the belt is indeed possessed by Arthendal, and it did make its way eventually to our friend Droop, who the crown had transformed from a goblin into a bugbear, a rather large bugbear. Though there were these strange fish men there, and they were doing some sort of weird magic. I don't know what it was, but there was a weird power emanating from them and from our friend Droop, who then asked us to subjugate ourselves to him, and that is how we came to have these marks. So, do you know anything of these fish folk, and I guess how any of this could have happened?
Don't forget to tell him about the anti-magic barriers that made all of you magic users feel nauseous and unable to cast. Because
I mean, you can tell.
these
you can tell
guys.
I mean, you could
I
say that
imagine
right
he's
now.
saying that.
You
I'm
could
s-
also. You're sitting right next to me.
Yeah, I'm saying that out loud in front of you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's a jerk saying. Don't forget to tell him about this. Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I
yeah.
thought you were just. Yeah.
Well, you
I
always
thought you-
tell me
I
to
thought
take
you
the
were telling
lead,
him.
and then you just take the lead. So I'm just letting you talk and reminding you about things.
I actually thought you were talking to the player, not the. But I got you now. So,
Yeah, I got it.
Haman responds, "Interesting that the crown would have actually, been able to be activated by a goblin and not an orc. Like it's, in a way, it must have. Gramouche must have allowed him to take his crown, or else it would not have worked."
Well, to be fair, he was smart
True
for
dat.
for a goblin.
So perhaps the tale is true and the goblins became the chosen people. But-
Yes.
Stands to reason.
If the wizard remains in the belt and the
We-
wizard was betrayed, why would the mind still follow the path of Gramouche?
Perhaps that is the key. Perhaps it did not matter. Perhaps the rules set by Gramouche allowed this to happen, and Arthendal is taking advantage when he saw his opportunity to escape.
Well, whatever the
So-
case, that belt is furious.
I would be. How long did you say you lost the time in there?
It was a little over 2 years.
Interesting. It's been roughly 10,000 years, and he tries to do some quick math. I mean, Arthendal may not have been even locked away for that long. The world's probably very likely quite strange to him. As far as these fish people you speak of, they're likely the Kuatoa, a race known to have give quite some amount of power to Gramouche in their worship of him, as their faith seems to be an incredible cause of incredible well of power for deities to draw upon. If they are alive and back in the world again, I imagine they are attempting to multiply as quickly as they can, as is their wont. The goblins as well. And you say you last saw them heading where? From Arthendal's tomb?
We believe that they went back to Cragmaw Castle, which is where we initially encountered Droop and his tribe. The leader of his tribe was the one that had the crown.
So at this point, Jerk will pull out a map.
And because Jerk's map has that location.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whoop. Compilation maps.
And he will point out.
So we're on the top left map.
Yeah, he'll say he'll point out
yeah,
Thunder
bottom
Tree
left.
where we are, and then he'll say they're in the woods just to the southeast of us.
Haman, if you don't mind, why do you believe that he would go to this castle? If you didn't, did you follow them there?
No, but okay, so even though he was under the control of he seemed to be under the control of the belt, he also seemed like he was just kind of smart for a goblin. So he's going to go back home and try to put together a goblin army there. They've also been causing trouble in that area still. So
the castle was this goblin's home before
yes,
all this happened. Yeah, I could see it makes sense. There's a castle. What better place for a new goblin king to seat his throne? Do you mind if I mark this location on one of my own maps?
feel free.
It snaps for one of the zombies. It gets up and it wanders off and comes back outside of the carts, wanders back in with a couple map scroll cases. He picks the one he wants, rolls it out, and you notice it's actually it is similar to the one on the map of the north in the Keepers of the Horde. And he marks down the Cragmaw Castle and then rolls it back up and slides it back in. This is an important piece of information in a puzzle that we are trying to complete. And actually, it seems as if some of the pieces have seated themselves. I thought we would have to spend time finding orc encampments here in that Everwinter Wood. We've been searching for them actually for some time, in the years since I've seen you last, and without a lot of success. But we should have been looking through goblin encampments. If this is its location, this is very, very important and valuable to us. I would like to know now, what information is it that we might be able to give you in exchange for this?
All right, guys, huddle up. We've got a lot of questions. What do we want to answer? Should we ask about the giants and their war? Should we ask about the more immediate threat of the dragon cultists?
Yeah.
The cultists, I'd say, are much less of at least less of a threat here locally.
Well,
And we have more leads, and I don't expect them to have paid much attention to local religious politics.
Well, they were working with them, so
They
they
were
might
working
have
with him,
some
yeah.
information.
They were
that
they were under contract, but you have a good point.
Oh,
They might.
Well,
It doesn't
I mean,
hurt to ask them. They might know something that we don't.
should we
So-
ask about like what the hell was up with the dark elves and the doppelgangers?
That I think is a better question. Yes.
Doppelgangers and the drow. Also, the fact that there was a drow here. There might still be a drow here. Another thing is that the Black Spider had letters for for Haman Cost, didn't right?
Yeah,
We already gave him
by
that. didn't we?
name. Yeah.
Did we get? I know I got it out, but did I give that to him? Either way, I'm willing to bring.
I don't remember you giving them a
I remember that you brought it out at some point.
Yeah, you brought it out to remember the guy's name.
I'm willing to get the letter out and hand it over if Jerk brings up this topic with his doppelganger issue.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll, if that's all right with everybody, I'll ask him what his dealings with the, like.
People that hurt your girlfriend.
Yeah, I want to know how deep this goes and what their. Okay. So yeah, I'll bring that up if that's all right.
well,
Makes sense.
I mean,
No, X, you can weigh in on
Yeah,
this. You're in the huddle.
you can weigh in, but also remember we're trying to resolve a story that we started 2.5 years ago.
oh, okay.
Go ahead. Weigh in.
Well, yeah, you can
You're
have,
player. You're player
you
to
can have
stay.
your own questions, dude. You're good.
You've got insight into this we don't have.
Not really. I just want to take down the cult of the dragon and help rescue the rest of my clan. That
No,
there's a list of captives and various different locations that could have been taken to, and I don't know if there was like one location more important than the other, and or
Well, they have been. That's
well,
a
yeah,
valid
yeah,
point. They've been in this region planning to meet with the dragon, so they may have seen some things.
we can bring that up also. It's not like we have a.
But we
We've
can put that
got
on the list. That's a good point.
We do have the giant robot bones that we can in our back pocket. That could be
I
of
don't know
interest.
if they'll know anything about those.
Well, no, but that could be of interest to them if they're looking for weapons to take down
We
a
can just
wizard.
We can keep making trades.
Yeah. So let's start with the oldest questions, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Jerk will
Turn back.
turn back
Yeah.
to Asbara. Yes, Asbara, and say, well, we are looking for information that we feel you guys might have, and he'll turn back around to Oz and extend his hand and say the letter, please.
I will get out the letter that mentions them.
Okay, so I'll take it.
Mentions that we deduced involves Hammond,
So I'll put it on the table and just kind
which I've only had for like only a few months, so it's probably still pretty good.
of, yeah, he'll slide it across the table, and
Do you give the letter addressed to Hammond Cost to?
I just slide it to the middle of the table, so whichever one of
Gotcha.
them want to grab it can. And we'll continue. So you seem to be in the middle of some intrigue, whether on purpose or inadvertently. I know you're looking for these items of power to save your
Nation.
your world, basically. That's where you're from. That's where you've
Our
always been.
dying culture, yes.
Well, now we're trying to keep ours safe. You seem to be dealing with some of the darker groups in our land. Any information you give us about what they were trying to do, who's involved, how big the threat actually is, and what concerns me the most is my girlfriend was replaced by a doppelganger for quite a while, and I want to find out why, and I want to get revenge for that. So any information you could give us about this plot, about this, what seems to be a coming war, because the Drow were trying to make magically imbued weapons, would be greatly appreciated.
Slides the letter over. He opens it up, gives it a quick read. You hear him muttering it aloud. He doesn't even seem to care if you hear its contents. He, I guess, knows that you have it. Lord Cost, it seems your presence is indeed required to solve the complications of the forge. Yes. I know of the man who have sent me this letter, and I think you. What can I tell you about the Black Spider and the 8 Arms of Lolth?
Oh, the 8 Arms of Lolth. Yes, that's what we want to know about, because that seems to be the main pillar of this.
Yes,
whole...
this symbol here at the bottom of the letter.
And we may actually have a job for you as well to keep the information coming from us. If you
Wait, it's like, so we got the people working for Tiamat, the people working for Grimwix, the people working for Lolth. Is this just a crusade?
yeah, basically.
Are there just gods doing their shit, and then all mortal creatures have to deal with it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you could fulfill the Black Spider's original, what he hired you for to begin with, we may be able to make use of that forge and defend our land using those weapons. And we would be happy to continue giving you any information about any objects of power that we come across.
This is very much the deal that I was working out with this Black Spider. What you may be interested to know is that it was brokered by someone here in the camp. I know you've been on a bit of a rampage through their numbers. I am unsure if this person lives, but
Do you mean the
they-
cook?
My
Well-
cook is gonna come back.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. So many different sections of notes just here in Thunder Tree. I tell you that one of the members of the Keepers of the Horde is a drow spy for the Eight Arms of Loth, who brokered the deal between us and the Black Spider. He, in exchange for my necromantic powers, perhaps being able to remove it from the Forge of Spells, so that they could use this item, they were willing to trade us use of the Forge as well. If you're saying you would like to assist me, assisting him in getting the Forge operational again.
Well, I would like to assist you, but we're going to cut him out of it, and I'll probably kill him when I see him.
Jerk. He makes really good soup.
Well, whether he makes good soup or
The Black
not.
Spider you will kill?
Oh, the Black Spider's been dealt with. I killed him
What?
several
I'm
times.
sorry. You... so I have no deal brokered with this man any longer.
No, you have a deal brokered with us. We are the legal owners of the mine. So we're just changing some things around. You're just dealing with different people.
So am I to expect that, as is addressed in this letter, there is no individual coming to retrieve me and bring me to the Forge?
No.
We intercepted this letter before we entered the temple.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Black Spider was a jerk. He was
Well-
murdering innocents, and he actually held children captive at one time, which I know we have different customs. We're from different lands, but here that is a very big no-no.
I turned him into a snowman. That is my custom.
And then I shot him in the head
You're a
with an
very
arrow.
interesting group of people.
We have been told that, yes.
The
I
last-
feel
the last time I-
cultural differences here is not the riverbed I once believed it to be, but instead a chasm. But so what you're offering me is the same deal that he offered, to be able to use the Forge to create magical items.
With the bonus.
But you've murdered him, and of course have attempted to murder me in the past. I would be remiss if I did not posit the suggestion that it might be difficult to trust you.
Well, okay, we did never. We explained where we were coming from.
I understand, but it's just an odd. And
The point is well made.
Yep,
Asbar,
understood.
Asbar just kind of chimes in. He's like, what I think might be of interest to you in finding out more information about these agents of the Eight Arms of Loth. It seems to me you're at odds with them there. You said something about a war in this land that they were causing. Perhaps this is to do with why you killed the man. But what might be of interest to you is the agent here. There is a drow among these keepers of the Horde. His name's Durden, and I think if you were to capture him and then perhaps interrogate him, you might be able to find out more about their operations. We simply were attempting to broker whatever deals we could. Same reason why we came here to the ruins of Old Thunder Tree, so that we could treat with the dragon, though we found Venom Fang to be disagreeable, to say the least.
Okay, so
Very little interest in exchange, and much more interested in servitude.
I suggest I have a strong suggestion
You
for.
killed that dragon before I
Well,
would have loved to have added it to my collection.
I'm sorry, but
A fine addition to my collection.
we just got there faster than you. I mean, it's unfortunate. If we would have known,
Literally the same day I was going to kill a dragon, you killed the dragon.
had we known
And-
you were just gonna do it, we would have let you. Anyways, so here's
we have
my.
a very odd sort of. We have a very odd sort of fortune, wouldn't you say?
I would say. So I have a suggestion for your travels. You can actually hit Cragmaw Castle in a couple days. If you travel past Cragmaw, we can give you a letter of like a contract, because we are a stakeholder in that the cave, the Wave Echo Cave. If you stop in Phandalin, that's where you'll find Gungeon Rockseeker, who is the main stakeholder. Tell him that you've already been paid in full, and you are there to dispel the magics on the cave in exchange for its use of the forge. If it's signed by all of us, like I said, we're major stakeholders. I don't think that there'll be a problem there. And if you would like to make plans to meet again and exchange more information about what we've learned about the objects, and whatever you can give us about what we're up to at the time, I would be agreeable to that. Also, I really am sorry about trying to kill you.
Didn't.
But
It seems that these events have led us to, in time, something greater than we would have been able to achieve without them passing. Consider it, and the payment I would have given you for clearing out the orcs at Wyvern Tor moot.
I would humbly ask, though, that you keep the safety of our citizens in higher regard, just a little bit.
This is known.
Okay.
Excuse me, I would like to discuss with Asbara. And he turns to Asbara. They kind of stand up from the chairs and go stand off in the corner.
I turn to Jerk and I'm like, well, you didn't ask about the doppelgangers at all.
Okay, well, we'll find out about the doppelgangers when we. I did ask about the doppelgangers, but it was. I feel like the pillars are a little more important because the pillars lead to the doppelgangers. So if we can get this, if we can get this,
Okay.
if we can get this drow and interrogate this drow, he's going to have a whole lot more information because he's directly involved.
Why don't we just ask him? We don't have to like hurt him, right?
Well, that depends on how wily he is.
Yeah, he seems pretty cool. I mean, I talked to him. He's the cook. He was great.
The goblin.
Jerk's just like, he said interrogate him. I'm down.
The goblin seemed pretty cool too, and then it turned into a bugbear, and then it marked me with a brand and swore like world domination. So
Well, what did you do to him?
Why was he in that position? Was it because we put him in that position?
I mean, after was seeing you guys gone through for like these 3 days.
I will take responsibility for what happened with Drew.
Okay.
I tried to befriend a goblin.
And I will take responsibility for what's about to happen to this fucking cook.
No.
Well, I don't want
No!
you to straight up murder him if there's no reason to murder him.
I'm not gonna murder
We'll
anybody.
just ask him.
We'll ask him.
Okay, I vote Jerk does not talk to him first.
Furious whispering going back and forth between these people, and I'm just standing there with.
Shaken.
Is my direct manner what puts you off?
How do you feel about this?
I don't murder people. I don't,
I mean,
Say this like an internal Zentrum issue.
Wait a minute.
We-
Did
we
you
could-
say
we could
don't
probably
murder
pay
people?
him.
Aren't you the one who fried everybody with a fireball?
yeah.
They were
that
This
was
is a
totally him.
particular
that
sit-
kidnapped his entire fucking tribe.
kidnapped, murdered
well-
a bunch of my friends, I told them to surrender and lay down arms because we killed their boss. They didn't
That never
listen,
works.
Okay.
and they still
so,
advanced on us in an aggressive manner. So I defended us by blowing them up.
So Ixie, let me tell you a little story. There's a girl back in Thunder Tree.
I'm gonna buy it real quick. I can't wait. I'm sorry.
There was a girl back at Thunder Tree. I kind of had the hots for a little bit, right?
Okay.
She goes to check out this cave. She was kind of uninterested in me, and she comes back much more interested in me. We go to the cave. We find her tied up in a room, starved almost to death, and beaten. Turns out the one that came back and showed interest with me was a doppelganger who was directly involved in this entire thing, in this entire plot. So if I want to take that frustration out on the cook, just like you took your frustration out on those those boys coming up on us, I'm gonna.
That is not the same thing at all.
No.
How is the cook involved with a doppelganger?
Let's just no.
That is not the same thing at all.
Okay, I don't know
feelings.
what
Is the
happened
cook
with
the
your
doppelganger? What? I don't.
No,
My
there's
girlfriend?
Feelings because of a massacre, hurt feelings because girl didn't like you like you thought she liked you.
And who of us hasn't been, tortured, tied up, half starved to death at this point? Come.
You know what? I find it very strange that you guys are taking the side of like a dude involved in an evil plot to like storm our lands. They're trying to make magical weapons to start a war, dude. And you're taking this dude's side? All right.
I'm not taking his side.
I'm just hands up in the air, backing off. That's it. You guys
I'm not
do what
taking
you
his
want.
side. I'm just saying that he might be
I'm
a
just
little bit
gonna-
more cooperative if we don't immediately put a knife through his throat.
Well, you can't talk with a knife through your throat. I was gonna put it through
To
his
his
ribs,
throat.
dude. Anyways,
Well,
I'm gonna take a step back and I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. You guys do what you want to do, and I'll just be in the back. If you need someone stabbed, I'll stab them. But if you want to do the talking, you do the talking. Peace.
Asbara and Haman turn back to you both, hearing a lull in your very heated conversation happening not too far away from them as they've been whispering to each other. And Asbara looks up. Though I appreciate your offer to employ us to clear the necromantic aura from this cavern, he's like I would be remiss to not tell you that we are far more interested in finding the artifact, the Band of the King. It has much more appeal as something that could actually help us affect change. So we'll politely decline your offer of the business relationship. But Haman, I believe you had something. Yes. If the information that of this spy here is not enough in exchange for the possible location of this item, perhaps I could offer you something that's within my power. I don't quite believe may be within yours. I have it within my ability to cast magics on the corpse of the dragon that will keep its materials from decaying, keep them intact, so that perhaps by the time you need to do what you would do, it could be of greater value to you. With the heart stopped, the brain dead, there's a lot of these items that need to be harvested quickly. And so what you may be able to create from its corpse would have more value if I were to cast gentle repose on its corpse. This also a bit of a peace offering from me, as it would not be able to be turned into the undead. so I wouldn't be able to use the dragon as much as I would like to. Could that be an even exchange of information and perhaps a task in order to assist you for what the information you've given us?
Huddle in, guys.
Okay.
Well, okay, I'll look at it.
Okay. They just kind of sit back and
Yeah,
wait.
Ixavix shrugs at them like, I don't know, and then goes to the huddle.
So I think that we should pull the bones out of our back pocket, so to speak, to try to get him to dispel the necromantic aura on Wayvako Cave. Do we know anybody
When-
else who could dispel it?
Yes, in fact, there was a priest going in there as we left.
Oh.
Yeah, the wandering.
Oh, that's right, the
Promises.
Wandering Promise. Fuck that then. All right.
Yes.
so I
there
find-
was a priest going in there as we left. I don't know if you remember at the time because there was a lot going on. But,
I don't think you remembered.
I'm quite willing to take the
Well,
deal
I
they
think
put on the
I
I'm
may have
quite willing to
actually
put-
been
take
on
the
my
deal they put on
honeymoon.
the table just now.
No, that was when you
And
got
then
the,
maybe
that was when
we'll
we got the
re-encounter
eye
them
from the
later.
wizard.
Oh,
The
that,
wizard.
yeah.
Clarendon, the wizard, was from a part of the Wandering Promises.
Right.
That was that quest.
So I agree.
I find
with
this
Oz.
agreeable. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have some other questions for them, but I do agree with Oz that the fact that he's offering, like, he wanted this dragon to kill and raise from the dead as a weapon. The fact that he's offering to just give us the fucking dragon corpse is kind of a big deal, and also make it to where it can't be raised from the dead. Like, that's a pretty big step, I feel. So
Yeah. If we did let him have the dragon corpse, what could he do for us at that point?
I don't
know.
I don't want to enter that line of discussion.
You wouldn't have to move it then.
Yeah, well, so gentle repose makes it to where the corpse doesn't decay fast. It doesn't decay at a normal rate. It's like really slow. So we
Yeah, it
would
needs to be
actually have
done, like,
time to
once a
get it
week.
back. We would have a lot of time to get it back, essentially. So okay, I mean, I'm down with taking this.
Yeah, do it. Let's do deals.
You can see,
Okay.
you can see Haman trying to like listen, but he's still like trying to listen and look like he's not trying to listen. As you turn to talk to him.
We turn back and yeah.
Oh.
I think this deal is agreeable. I do have some other questions though. If you guys may have some answers. Firstly, the doppelgangers that have been seen dealing, helping the Black Spider, there was word that one had made its way to Tribor, and while we were there, had caught wind and taken off further east. Do you know anything about this, or anything that, like, what their goal is?
Unfortunately, all of my dealings with the Eight Arms of Loth have been through Durden. He seemed
he may know.
he seemed most interested in getting us there, as he disclosed, perhaps unwillingly, that it seemed as if the Black Spider was unable to perform this task on his own.
Okay.
They again offered us coin and money, and I offered a page from my spell book to him to at least begin his knowledge in what might be necessary. In fact, if you killed him, did you happen to recover that page?
Alright, do I still have that book, or do they give it back to him? Which book was that? That was the second book, so I would still have that, and I would be willing to give it back. So I would take that out, yes.
Wonderful. I would appreciate this in return, but in the spirit of our exchange, Asbara, perhaps you could use that item to see if we can glean more information that they want. Certainly, Hammond, if it would return a lost item to you on a canceled a deal canceled by someone who couldn't uphold their own end, I would be glad to. And you see him reach into his large red robes and like kind of put his hands in the clasps. They're sort of closed over each other. Kind of shift his arms around out and pull out a crystal ball. And he says,
Palantir.
I'm willing to use this once for you, so that I can perhaps ask a question of the multiverse and see if we could get an answer in exchange for that page.
Godwald, what do you think? What does everyone think about that?
Would I accept this use in return for this page? I would. What should we ask? There was the matter we discussed earlier, and also what X6 brought up.
I have no opinion.
Okay, passive aggressive.
Jerk's like, I'm just waiting to go interrogate that guy.
Yeah, he's just sitting in the corner pouting.
Tyre will be all about it. He'll interrogate the heck out of that dude with me.
I mean, what?
I'm fine with interrogating him.
You could just ask him first. Was all I was saying.
That's not how we do things here.
Oh, you for 3 days.
Isbara says, he's like I think it's once a week. I could look into my crystal ball and ask questions. If the gods I forget the word. If the gods will deign. Is it deign? Yeah. I just didn't want to say that it was. If the gods deign to reply, then they will answer yes, no, or maybe to a question that we had. And I'm willing to ask the questions that you want me to ask.
So I actually do have an opinion here, guys. I feel like we need to find out what the bigger threat is between the plot of the darker elements of the land or the giants that are kind of rampaging.
I mean, we kind of
one of those
know.
is bigger than the other, and which one's more pressing? I don't know.
The darker elements of the land, like, what do you...
The drow. The drow trying to forge weapons for war. Magical weapons.
Okay.
Well, so currently they can't do that at all.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean they're not up to other shit. They're drow. They're sneaky as fuck.
The world is vast.
Yeah, no, I know that, but I know that their one means of, the magic forge, they don't have access to that. I don't know. The only other drow we've...
Sorry, yeah, you did put an end to their machinations at the Forge of Spells.
Yeah, the only other drow we've ever seen is the one that's here. So I definitely am down with interrogating him. I would personally like to ask about just other items of great power that kind of fall along in the same category as the Belt of the King kind of deal. Like, do they know of other items like this? Are there other... Because if this belt is like extremely dangerously powerful and there's other shit like this just laying around, like there could be somebody else using this, or it could, I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
And if you're saying you want that sort of thing off the board for the stability of the region, which is your usual spiel,
yeah.
And do they say they tell us, but they want what they call dibs on it? Would you still be okay with that? When they have said their intent is to take it far, far, far to the east and out of our hair.
I mean, if they're gonna just take it and piece the fuck out, then maybe.
I mean,
I'd be okay with that.
Wouldn't they be able to?
He can
see
ask
it?
yes or no questions, basically.
Yeah. Well, this is something I want to ask them. As far as asking this whole thing. I
Being
mean, I understand what Jerk is saying. Like, kind of what's the most pressing matter,
giants.
but
So they
What
weren't
about the
willing to
dragon
have us
cult?
hire them because of distrust. Now you're saying maybe they should hire sub treasure hunters?
We haven't forgotten about the dragon cult, bro. But
Well,
they're not
I
they're
mean-
not much of a threat. Okay, so there's a giant war happening right now too in the background, where
There's a lot of plots.
yeah, there was fire giants just rampaging
I will
through
say-
towns looking for something. And once they find it, it's gonna be like Armageddon.
Colossal.
Yeah, and then
This world. Yeah.
there's a plot kind of happening where like there's doppelgangers, and we haven't forgotten about the dragon cult, but they're the least of the threats right now, it seems like.
And I think we have like some intel of where possibly the
Yeah.
other cults are.
And we do have the drow to talk to, whether it be through
Now-
pleasant conversation or forced conversation. So you will
I'm-
definitely get your answers from him. He knows more than these red cloaks do. The red cloaks are tertiary to what you want to know. This drow is directly involved in what you want to know. You
I
did?
don't think that
Well,
I don't think that there's like a problem with asking
No,
these
no,
guys if
there
they
isn't.
know anything
There's-
about this.
There's
There
three
isn't.
questions. They can ask 3 questions, yes or no answers. So you can ask 3 yes or no questions. They could be about 3 different groups of people. Yes, the land is riddled with complicated issues. You have heard that the 8 arms of Lolth were attempting to use the Forge of Spells to build magical arms in order to give their side an advantage in some plot that they have. You have, as a party, encountered rampaging giants across the countryside, and even met one who is on seemingly a different side of a conflict between giants that's happening here in the north somewhere. And you have also encountered dragon cultists in the area in several locations as well, as long as several locations as the others, that are up to something that involves sacrificing kobolds to
My
gain
clan.
something from his
Yeah.
clan
Yeah.
to do something.
So yeah, I guess that was kind of my point. Is just like there's a bunch of things going on, and like to Ixavix, this would be the most important thing. Like I get that to
Mhm.
Jerk, it's not that important, but like the fact that they're directly sacrificing his fucking clan is important to his character. Like,
No, yeah,
so
I
he's concerned about
understand,
that.
but Jerk is also thinking about like if there's giants rampaging through the entire land, setting things on fire, smashing things, making storms, like
Sure,
There's
but we've
no-
only
there's-
seen evidence
there's-
of that once in one place, and we've never seen a giant outside of that ever, other than that.
but we talked
You
to like
have encountered hill giants twice.
we talked
Well,
to
we
the
encountered
we,
hill
Fire
giant.
giants once.
we
storm
talked to
giant
like the
once.
king of the giant, or we talked to
We encountered a storm giant.
we talked to
Oh, the
yeah
cloud
we were
giant?
Tower, the
we
castle
were-
in the sky.
we were in a castle in the sky talking to a crazy giant wizard about how like the
Yes.
king and
What?
queen of giants split, and they were gonna be
Yeah.
they were in the midst of going crazy. That seems like a big deal, you know? Like that seems
No, I
like
understand
earth-shattering,
that.
world-destroying trouble.
Sure,
So
but
The
if
world is
they're-
an intricate weave. They're all important.
Yeah,
that's
they're
what
they're
I'm saying.
they're
There
all
are a
important.
lot of things that are earth-shattering right
so
now.
so Jerk is reminding us that
That there's a
the
big
issues with
picture.
the giants are important.
Yeah.
Do you-
Right.
maybe think up a question that has a yes or no answer that you would like to ask. Ixavix is saying that these dragon cultists are important. Ixavix, maybe think up a yes or no question that you would like to ask. Is there a third group or something with a yes or no question you would like to ask? Or are you all going to draw, like, put in votes for which one is the most important and ask 3 yes or no questions in order to get some more specific information?
I mean, I think 3 separate answers gets more information than 3 of the same.
Yeah, and then we get 3 maybes, and
Um,
we've not gained much.
Yeah,
Possibly.
So Jerk is going to suggest asking, are the giants a bigger threat than the Drow plot?
Physically, yes.
well,
Well,
the same.
to the world as a whole.
So you're gonna phrase it differently.
No, don't phrase it like that.
Are the giants okay?
No,
I'm hearing
okay.
the question. Are the giants
Is
a bigger
plot
threat
of-
than the
is-
8 arms of the plot of the 8 arms of Lolth?
Is the situation
the-
with the giants, with the giants, a bigger threat to the world than the plot of the 8 arms of Lolth? That's the question.
And
if you
then-
guys
Can you do me
agree,
a favor?
yes.
Can you do me a favor and just type it up, like type it, put it in a chat so that
I
I've got
don't
it.
want to get like semantically caught up and fucked because of it. Someone else phrase
You're
the
the one
question.
asking the question.
No, I'm
you're
not.
doing it, man.
I'm asking
No.
you
You're
guys.
getting spicy about it, dude. You do it.
Yeah,
Giants,
right,
you-
giants.
I mean, it's the question that you want asked. If somebody asks it and it's not asked in the way that you like, then that'd be disappointing.
How about
I'm
y'all?
all for asking about the giants too, by the way. Like,
Okay, well, I forfeit. I forfeit the question. Fuck
Chance
it.
has heard.
I think it's a
Chance
good
has-
question.
Well,
it
then
just needs to
think
be
of-
phrased in a way.
Okay, well, then, smart ass, think of a way to phrase it.
You know, you
Well,
I like
rough
the
day
first
today,
one.
buddy. You okay?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
You being
man.
so spicy today, dude.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're feeling a little hot there. Hot
I'm
to the
okay with
touch.
this.
Jerk's just gonna go sit back in the corner. He said his piece.
I pat him on the back as he walks away. Like, I got you, bro.
All right, so Chance has heard about the situation with the giants and the experience in Tribor from. Oh my gosh! Now I can't remember your other character's name. When I usually call the
Novak.
Novak and Zeta. He has heard from her and her about that situation as well. So Chance does have some background in there. The question is, the only question I've heard so far is the situation with the giants more dangerous than the plot from the 8 arms of Wolf?
I'm okay with that being one of the
Yeah,
questions.
that's fine.
And then
Is that
Ixodix,
phrased semantically enough for everybody? Is it
It's
correct?
grand. It's perfect.
All right, then Jerk says
Osvara-
good.
Okay.
Where is it?
I just said it. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I put it in my notes.
Okay.
I'll put it in the chat if you want. So here you go,
Yeah, cool.
guys.
What phrase messes us up?
There's a question that can be asked. Asvara wants to be very clear with how you want him to, what question you want him to ask, and the precise wording, so that he can be as clear as possible. I can ask 2 more questions.
Ixodix?
Well, I mean, I guess following off the tail of that question, depending on the result of that, asking if the plot of the Dragon Cult, the ongoing plot of the Dragon Cult, the end goal of theirs ends up being a greater threat to the realms than the result of the previous question, like that group. So we can try to figure out who's the most immediate, greatest threat that we can apply ourselves towards. Right?
Sure.
Sounds
Guys,
good.
what do you think? You guys
That's
okay
fine.
with that?
Yeah.
All right. Who's got the third question?
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I was gonna ask if I would survive if I stayed with you guys. So
Chance, if he'll live if he keeps going on with the party.
Is
a pop-
Should I
Pop-Tart
taken that other
ravioli.
job offer?
is
Should I
cereal breakfast
Should
soup?
I have gone chasing giants with Novak and Azlita?
Is a Pop Tart ravioli.
Mm.
Yes.
Is cereal breakfast soup?
Yes.
No, I mean if
More of
Chance
a
wants to ask
stew.
that question, I'm okay with that too. I don't really have any sort of direct yes or no questions.
Ooh, I know. How about we ask, will we make mad money from this dragon? Or no, wait. Can we get this dragon to Neverwinter safely?
I think we can.
Okay.
I mean,
I
Well,
think we can.
Is
Why don't-
Tyre gonna die on the way there?
Don't make me answer. Don't make me
What
answer.
about
Depends on
about,
if it gets on Jerk's
uh,
bad side.
it? Is what we really released into the world a living god?
Can I keep the dragon egg and it
Okay.
don't kill me?
I think that's up to you. The living god thing sounds like to be a good path of questioning.
The creature that we released with the crown and the belt of the king, is that a living god?
Actually, I would phrase that differently. I would, if we're getting into semantics here, does it have the potential to become a living god? Because if it's not now, it could be.
Well, if it's not now, because Taliesin is under the assumption that it is.
Well, I had the belt on and I wasn't a god.
Right, but
And
you also
I
there were
felt
also different things that happened.
I felt the power of the entity in the belt, and it wasn't indomitable. Like, it kept trying to take me over, but it never actually did it. So it's not going to turn someone into a god. It might
that's
give them the
true.
power of a god, but it's
It
not
ne-
going to
it
make
never-
them a god.
It never affected his mind. It only squeezed him. It didn't really hurt him physically.
Right,
in
but what I
response.
saw happen to Droop after what the fish people did and everything like that is what I'm worried about. There was clearly a power that was bestowed upon him that did not happen to Jerk, and so I don't know what happened, but it seemed he was saying that he literally gave us the mark of Gramoosh, which is a god. So he is either a champion of or is some sort of embodiment of Gramoosh, and that is my question: is like is he this god? Is he what is
So
Or an avatar.
from Jerk's experience, what happened was the belt was able to like channel a portion. Like it was a very 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 strong magical presence in the belt, but it wasn't like godly. But you can ask. That's fine. I would just I would phrase it as a like. Does it have
I'll chime in here. Sorry for listening.
No, it's okay.
From
We're
the
loud.
from the stories you are, and it was quite easy to hear you and your discussion.
Yeah.
But still appropriate for me.
you rolled a nat 1? What are you talking about?
This is
I'm
later.
just kidding. I'm kidding.
And
What?
from what I know about the Band of the King is that it's Arthendal's soul, a powerful wizard, yes, trapped in the belt, but it is likely that whoever the crown has chosen has become the champion of Gramoosh. That would fit with information I know.
Well, I guess the reason I ask is because you had mentioned earlier when I asked about these Kuatoa is that they have the ability to bestow great power onto somebody of their choosing, and so I just was making sure that I knew what we were up against when the time comes that we do have to deal with this.
Yeah,
This
certainly,
one friend of mine.
they are a historically interesting creature that hasn't been seen in the land for what must be thousands upon thousands of years. And the fact that there are now some roaming brings a certain an uncertainty to
Discomfort?
the continent itself.
Yes.
All right, so I apologize for wanting to clarify, but I'd like to ask the questions that you would like me to ask. First, I'm going to ask, is the situation with the giants, meaning What exactly? I don't know much about it.
There's some upheaval in the giant hierarchy. The king and queen, from what I gather, because I wasn't there mentally, I happen to not be personally present at the at that session, guys.
Uh-huh.
But from what I understand, there's some upheaval, and they're trying to start something. One of the other members of the party can tell you a little bit more about that than I can.
I would at least tell you there have been several more sightings in the past few seasons than is normal, and they've been more aggressive than normal.
GM's note, I'll just tell you guys, the situation with the giants is the breaking of the ordning. The ordning being the inherent social structure amongst all giants. How some giants rule over others, rule over others, rule over others, and on down. And that structure has been broken.
Yeah.
So, the question, is the situation with the giants breaking the ordning more dangerous than the plot from the 8 Arms of Loth to start a war? Is that the first question, right?
That sounds
Yes.
good.
Aye.
Okay. And then depending on that answer, we'll ask if the plot of the dragon cultists is more dangerous to Faerun than whatever
Mhm.
group we hear about from before. And then at the end, we want to ask if what was released from Arthandal's tomb with the Band of the King is becoming a god?
Yeah.
No, it's if a hot dog is a sandwich or not.
Yes.
Is a hot dog
I-
a sandwich?
Yeah,
Well,
that was
no,
the first
no.
one.
No.
I'll discuss that with you later.
Yeah.
It wasn't my question. I was just repeating it.
I would like to know if it is a god.
Is a god or is becoming a god? I want to be clear because it is a yes or no question I can ask.
Become as gods.
Is it becoming a god? I guess.
Okay. Is becoming a god.
Or the power to be a god.
All right, we'll ask that question when we get there, and you can give it to me in your precise wording. Asbara sets the goes to kind of set the orb down. This oh my gosh! After all that conversation, the thing I've already said once, I can't even not the looking glass.
The Palantir.
The crystal
Crystal ball.
Jeebus. As he goes to set the crystal ball down on the table, it stops and it floats midair as he is concentrating on the orb. You see inside of it a flame ignites in the center of the globe, and he looks and he asks the question: is the situation of the giants ordning breaking more dangerous than the plot from the 8 Arms of Lolth to start a war? The flame seems to grow brighter and larger, and in fact seems to extend past the glass of the orb. She turns to you and he says, "It seems that yes, this is true. The universe has told us the breaking of the ordning is more dangerous than the plot of the 8 Arms of Lolth to start a war.
I'm gonna have to fight giants.
Perhaps
Okay.
you have
Man, I'm gonna have to fight giants again.
Perhaps you unseated something more than you did. I do not know. So, what is the next question you'd like me to ask?
If the plot of the dragon cultists, the end plot of the dragon cultist, I'm getting all flummoxed now that I know that. I gotta ask it right. If the plot of the dragon cultist is more dangerous than the plot of, or the thing with the thing with the giants, the breaking of the thingy with the giants and stuff. Nah, I'm bad at this, but I should be good at it because I have high charisma.
perhaps if we asked to whom it was more dangerous, so that we
Um,
don't confuse danger to the giants than to the
Oh,
people of Faerun.
to
I'm
Faerun.
gonna go to the restroom.
Danger to you know, Faerun as a whole, or even just our lands. And then we can't protect the whole world, right?
Yep. Yeah. So as it as the orb floats there in the air, he asks the question: is the plot of the dragon cultists more dangerous to Faerun than the breaking of the ordning?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
see, as he concentrates, the flame rises up, shrinks, goes out, and becomes stable again. He turns to you and says, "It seems unclear which is more dangerous, but I would also possibly interpret this as they being of equal danger, or perhaps involved with one another.
I see. Okay.
Fortune telling not often an exact science."
Hmm. Never is a science. Um.
What
Okay.
is the third question you would like me to ask?
He went to the bathroom.
Yeah, he went to the bathroom.
Oh, you went to the bathroom right now. Yeah, we should have
Yeah,
taken
so
a
he
break a
didn't.
while ago.
Yeah, he didn't even
Well,
we
we
did
hear
start
the
a little
result.
bit too.
That does.
Oh, here he is.
Oh,
He's
I'm
here.
back. Sorry, I had to go to the restroom. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, you missed the result of the question.
About the
Uh,
god thing.
the
It is
giants.
No.
The giants are more dangerous. The dragon cult might be involved with the giants, or just as dangerous. It's unclear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened? Let's get real quick. Is the flame grew brighter and when it extended beyond the orb, then shrank and went out, and then returned to the smaller flame that was just sitting inside the orb itself. And then Asbara said, "It seems unclear if one is more dangerous than the other, but it may also interpret this that they are equally as dangerous, or perhaps involved in one another, as fortune telling can often be an unclear. This is not an unclear method of gaining answers. So, what is the third question you would like me to ask?"
Yeah, I mean, I want to know is the creature that we released with the crown and the belt of kings. Is this creature becoming a god?
And he goes, "Is the creature that this party of adventurers released from Arthandal's tomb becoming a god?" Flame flickers and goes out. The universe seems to say no, it is not. Though I couldn't tell you that if it has become something very powerful, a demigod or something else, but we know it's not becoming a god. The answer was clear.
Does it mean that it hasn't already, or that it hasn't become something other than a god?
But we have our three
It
answers.
would be difficult to
And-
tell, and we have our
Yeah.
three answers.
And I would extend the first book of Glassstaff and turn to the page in the odd language.
And Haman, thanks you very much for. Thank you. It's like, though I know much of my spell book by rote, it'll be good to have my notes and my methods fully returned to me. I appreciate what you've given me here today. Well, gentlemen, it seems... Yeah, you're all male. Gentlemen, it seems we have concluded our business here today. We, and I do not, though I don't mean to speak for Asbara, we appreciate it very much. And he says, of course, of course, Lord Cost, you do not speak for me, but I do agree. And if we have no further business, I can cast this spell on this corpse for you, and we'll be on our way.
One last question: are you aware of any other items of great power, so that if we are able to find them, we will know what we're dealing with, or we know where to look?
There are many legends across the land of different pieces of legendary constructs and swords, god-slaying swords. I would say nothing here in the Sword Coast, such as the Band of the King. If you have a particular question, perhaps we could sit and continue an exchange.
The Band of the King is the only item within the Sword Coast in this region that you were looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but there's tons of different legends about legendary magical items, artifact level things, god-killing swords.
Yeah,
There
just
are
not.
always legends.
Monstrous slaying conducts. Yeah, there's lots of legends.
Yeah.
You kind of, it's just like, if you know a specific thing, maybe I can give you more information about
No, that's why I was asking. Like,
Asterix,
are there?
Asterix tomb, or
Do you know of any other, like, that's what I mean, like, do you know of any other named items that we should be, like, on the lookout for? I don't know what they are, so.
nothing we have here in the sword. Nothing in the Sword Coast that we have stories of from our tales. Although we come from a faraway land, and I suppose here in the frozen north, there's the tale of Asarek's tomb, a legendary lich who creates mind-bending, soul-crushing dungeons in order to trap the souls of adventurers and increase his lifespan. Certainly he would have some powers. Certainly he might have powers, though I wouldn't advise venturing into one of his dungeons.
Yes. Those, for reference, Chris, could you point the stream at the middle of the top right map?
Yes.
It should say Tomb of Asarak.
Right there.
As
It's not really in the Sword Coast. It's not even like
it's very far from. It's
pretty
very
far
far
away.
from the coast.
Oh.
And,
I guess
it's not in the coast, so.
actually all the things on this map that you're looking at right now,
This all counts as
there
the
are
sword.
those are stories. Actually, no. This is the one you're looking at is just Northern Faerun. The Sword Coast would be this one on the left, which I don't think that is passed.
But most
pretty
of these
sure.
I recognize from the covers of published books with complete adventures in them.
The
Everything that's here on this map of Northern Faerun, where the tomb of Asarak, or whatever, how you pronounce it, those are all items that the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide has information on. Just FYI, I mean, that's why they're marked in the map of this. You guys didn't mark these on this map.
So many interesting
These
places
markings
to
were
go and
here
get killed.
Okay. Okay.
so it's in the Sword Midwest.
Sword Coast is actually probably just extends just south of. I mean, you can see it. It's on the other map.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was just making a joke.
It's known for their cheeses.
And
The Mad Mage's dungeon has stood for thousands of years, and the citizens of Waterdeep built a city on top of it. It's terrifying from what I hear. One of the largest dungeons ever created. More than 20 levels to it. Going deep into the earth. Untold secrets.
yes,
Just
but
like
some secrets are
Diablo.
made some secrets are made untold because no one has set forth. Others, as no one has made it back.
Yes, both the places I mentioned, parties of adventurers die all the time.
Hmm.
Not us.
Don't even think about it, guys.
Because
No, we can do it.
No.
Well, we appreciate your information. I guess the last question I were to have is if we do need to contact you, how would we do so?
Well, and he looks at Zbara. I believe our plan is to head towards this castle, survey the area, and attempt, if this King Droop is there indeed, find a way to draw him out and perhaps test his methods. We are patient, and you can certainly find us in the Neverwinter Wood. Do you perhaps know spells like sending or anything?
Mhm.
Now that you've met us, know our names, our faces. Once you become powerful enough, you could
I don't think I do.
contact us.
I can,
Okay.
especially now that we've met in a more formal setting.
Magic often opens a way.
I will blow a tune on a reed of grass.
We'll be.
No, but
It's likely we'll be in the Neverwinter Wood for some time.
okay.
We're not the sort to go diving headfirst into danger.
It looks like the little guy's got something to ask. Go ahead, bud.
Oh, thank you. I've been trying to get your attention for a while, but yeah. So my notes here. Have either of you had dealings with Ferlin Mondath?
Good point.
I believe this was one of the cult leaders who,
Right, yeah.
who was here.
Yeah. Have
Though
you met with him?
once,
Okay.
he
Um,
seemed. They seemed uninterested in
Okay.
creating equivalent exchanges, and simply more in what they could gain from us.
Do either of you have a minor illusion that you could cast to show us what Ferlin Mondath looks like?
If I do, or if we do, what would you offer us in exchange?
Oh boy. Favors. Well, okay. I could either offer money. I found a couple of spell scrolls in the Dragon's Hoard. One of them is a scroll of Misty Step, and another is a scroll of Lightning Bolt. I don't know what the equivalent value would be for providing an image of a person that we seek. If you would have known where they may have, they retreated using a teleportation circle, and we don't know where they retreated to. If there was any way that you had any clue as to where they may have gone out of a list of 4 different locations that we were able to uncover, that might point us in a direction of where to head first out of those 4 locations. And also, and just knowing their physical appearance would be helpful for us as well. I don't know if you'd be able to provide any or all of that, but I figured it'd be worth it to ask.
Well, I suppose fortunately for you, since I already can wield the power of lightning, and conjuration magic isn't up my alley, that we would have no use for the things you're offering.
No.
But we also do not have the sorts of information that you do. I
Oh,
would say that I believe, having watched this morning and last night, that there are still several of these cultists alive, some of them higher ranking, who've fled underneath the dragon's tower. If you wanted more information, perhaps they could lead you to something. But gentlemen,
I,
it does seem that we may not have much more to answer for you. I apologize, little one.
I appreciate the honesty and the helpful candor. If you were able to produce an image of them, I could give you gold. I don't know what else I could do for you.
Oh, right. Sorry. I got stuck in the other part of the question.
Oh, that's
Um,
fine. I mean, the other part was important too.
Yeah, but do you guys have anything else other to offer them? Because they have no need for the things you're offering, but they are willing to do this if you have something that interests them.
I have gemstones.
The fuck? I don't know how much money I have because for some reason I didn't save.
I
find
have
money,
it written down if you.
I find the only value that I find is money is that it sometimes has value to others for things, and it doesn't much. I find need for it.
We still
And you also
have
could tell
something
from
in
like
our-
looking at their appearance, they are fucking like rich as fuck from their dress and their garb. Like their robes are gilded with gold.
They got
Like
fucking drip, dude.
yeah, they're not hurting for cash, but they are interested. If you have something else, and you guys could go down a list of just items, or you're like, what about this? What about this?
I have
Yeah,
a
that piques their interest.
baby basilisk. I don't remember where I got that from.
The
What?
taxidermied one
Do you have a baby?
Oh
bath?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
the taxidermy
from
basilisk.
underneath the bed, from underneath Freeland's bed.
I do have that.
Yeah, they have like in exchange for
kinda
their
want
spellbook
that.
page, giving you the use of one of their higher end magical items.
That was
in
really good
exchange-
terms.
In exchange
like-
for the whatever, they're starting to feel you can kind of your passive insights and the look and feel on their faces. You can see that they're kind of starting to feel a little, and they're getting the shorter end of this deal the longer this goes on.
I have some sort
Yeah.
of cowboy belt buckle.
I think I'm still saying we should maybe quit while we're ahead and look into all these other avenues we have. These guys are going to lose their patience with us pretty fast.
Also, you guys have several letters, I think, that indicated places they were going, did you not?
Yeah, there were 4 different locations, but I don't have anything in my notes as to like where Furlan would have gone to out of those 4 locations.
Yeah, I don't think we got a distinction to that. He just teleported away.
Yeah, we did get an etching of the teleportation circle, but I don't know if that would help determine where that links to.
Probably not.
I'll offer
And-
this. If you have one end of a teleportation circle, then all you likely need to find is either the materials to reconstruct it, perhaps it acts like a key, or often a passcode. Perhaps one of these keepers of the horde knows such information.
I
Okay.
think
Perhaps another wizard well versed in transportation circles could help you.
Okay. I figure if Furlan had a key, she took it with her.
Oh, you guys have been on notes.
Many doors, many keys.
yeah.
Hmm.
I think that maybe we should go talk to
Durden?
Tyler Durden.
Tyler Durden. The cook. Makes a great stew. Don't stab him right away.
He makes bombs out of soap.
Glycerin. Okay. Gentlemen, I believe seems our business has come to an end. We very much appreciate what you've given us today. And thanks, Vix. Why don't you roll me a persuasion check?
Okay. Oh, I'm good with that. Oh, that's a pretty good roll. 24.
All right. Feeling like they're in a really good mood from getting the possible location of something they've kind of been looking for a few years, and the knowledge that the key to this treasure has already been turned, the box opened, and released it. Asbaros gives you a little parting gift, and he picks up a small minor illusion in his hand of Furlam Mondeth. Let me get you
Aw.
what he would show you. Give me a second.
I don't know how to spell Furlam, but
I'm gonna get you the image real fast.
I have it written as Furlam, but I don't know if that's the correct spelling.
Fuck it, I'll just show you. 24 is a high roll. I was gonna blur it a little bit,
Mm.
but I'll put this in your... Just because his memory might not be perfect of it. Because he didn't stop and examine this man or this person in order to like really remember them to tell someone later. But irrelevant. If you guys check the Dungeony Dragoons Discord channel, there's an image of Furlam Mondeth.
I just imagine like he's doing this in his hand, and I just imagine like the little emperor like execute order 66.
And he, as he kind of says it, he turns to Haman and is like, basically says, it's like, you know, kind of, he's saying it to you, but he's looking at Haman. Perhaps the next time that we encounter one another, we will continue our fruitful relationship.
I look forward to continuing our relationship.
All right, yeah, and they bow, and they head out the door with their very pale-skinned friend, keeping a space and an eye on you in between him. He looks nasty and mean, and they go outside. I don't know if you guys want to as well, but I'm going to bring you back to the
telling
thunder.
me I should open that tiny chest I have on me.
Keep
Don't
it
know.
easy.
I don't know
Dollar.
what it
Kaboom!
is.
Keep it easy, dollar store Skeletor.
Skeleton Lord.
Kind of hisses at you as it walks
I
out.
didn't mean to
Yeah.
rhyme there, but it kind of worked out.
He's a sassy dead guy, isn't he?
He is. As you come outside,
That's
Radoff
nice
and
hair.
Phelan, if you guys do come outside, Radoff and Phelan are staying there. The creature. Does anybody want to roll me and our...
What?
Hold on.
Oh, this is
I
not-
have a quick reference chart.
Refresh my
There we go.
screen.
A religion check to know what that creature is.
Yeah.
Religion check.
Anybody
Hello?
proficient in religion?
I am not.
I got a +2. That's all I got.
Oh, of course. I'm proficient, but got a nat 1, so it's a 7.
7. Oh, well, I mean, it's still a high proficiency. Anybody else?
I got a plus
Anybody else proficient in religion?
Do it. Roll it.
God, stop teasing me, dude. You know it's.
Oh, dude, wait, you're not like, you don't have, I mean, you might have a big modifier, but you don't have a little tiny black dot next to your number?
I do not.
Religion
Son of
is
Some
intelligence.
bit.
I'm good at my religion.
Well, yeah, I would
Yeah.
think even then,
Not
as a player,
anybody else.
they would just come to you naturally, even with your -1. It would
No, I've
still
been
be
learning
on
about
there.
a lot of different religions over the last few days, over the
That's
last
true.
few months.
Maybe
So
Most of
you
maybe
which wanna
don't
kill me.
want to roll.
maybe pray to Bahamut, or if anyone else wants to try, I guess.
I can try it.
If you're curious about what that creature is, If what-
17.
17.
yeah, it kind of clicks in your head as you're going across. That is an undead white, a very dangerous monster, undead.
Which
More-
creature?
more
The
intelligence.
skeleton lord?
This,
Yeah.
Oh, the Skeletor.
Dollar,
Okay.
dollar store Skeletor.
But I will pack them up into their carts and have them move along about on their way. And I think it's been an hour and a half now. Good time for a little break spot. You guys want to keep chatting or whatever? I will be back quickly. Or if you want to take the break as well, please, you're welcome to it. I just am chugging water, so
Well, you got that whole thing
I mean
next to you.
it's good for me, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Allegedly.
how many quarts is that fucking thing? Is it like a gallon? 2
It's
gallon?
probably a gallon or two.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. BRB.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna go smoke part of a cigarette. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
urinate.
Urine. Dun 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 little Hollow Knight.
Oh yeah, Bear, how'd yesterday go?
What, stream?
Yeah.
Good. I made it out of Hades. Again, got some more mom lore, starting to understand kind of like a lot more what's going on. I can summon Megara now.
Yes, you
It's
got you
fucking
dated
sweet.
Meg?
Yeah, it's fucking sweet. I can summon her now. So that's pretty dope. So I think that was my 6th time getting out. So I think I only have a couple, 3 more until I get like the end credits or whatever.
Something like that.
I tried the shield the first run, and I got all the way to Father Dearest, but did not win because I'm not good with the shield. The shield's ranged attack just isn't very powerful at all. I guess that there's like a trade-off because it kind of ricochets to other people, but it doesn't stun at all, and it also just doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So,
Second.
Hades,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Hey, that's all true.
I bought it, but I
Yeah.
haven't played it yet. I don't know why.
it's really
Oh,
really
really?
good.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's super good. Like the story is great. Voice acting's really good. The artwork's super good. Definitely fun to play.
That's one that'll get me.
Yeah.
Solid artwork.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it went great. I know. I think I should be. If I did make it out the last time, last Wednesday, I did actually make it all the way out with the gun, which was pretty cool. I think only because I got there was like an upgrade that I got to it where it's a 3-shot burst and you never have to reload. Because like having to reload it was kind of a pain in the ass. But the gun's pretty cool. So far I've just pretty much used like the gun, bow, and spear. I've tried the other shit out, but I'm just not
That's
very good
fair.
at like the close range melee stuff.
So yes, and
Oh.
if you want to do any of it off stream, like you now do have access to farming more blood by running 0 and 1 heat runs with every weapon.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because I definitely play this game a lot like I played like the Diablo games, where like it's the reason why I like really mastered like fucking Demon Hunter in Diablo 3. Because like just kite everything, dude. Kite things and cartwheel away. That's
Sorry about that.
That's all I'm good at. Oh, was that your computer that was doing that?
Yeah, my headphones became unplugged, and then it came out of my
Oh.
speaker, so it went through my microphone, and so I was trying to fix that.
We got to hear our glorious voices for a second.
Couldn't
Yes.
hear it before.
Also some good
So,
music.
so we know that the giants are just as dangerous as the dragon cult.
So we know that, or they might be working together in some way.
They might be related in one way, where one leads into the other, or there's some interplay going on between them.
He said his fortune
Question
telling
is-
sometimes hard, but I think the important note would be about the reaction from the, from the orb. Like you could tell what a yes would have been, what a no would have been, and what the unsure would have been, and it was all three. So he interpreted it a little differently.
Huh.
Okay, well,
It's not more important. It's not less important. I don't know.
and it's
Why does this
I mean-
song sound really familiar?
interpreted it as possibly linked.
As a
Sending
player,
it out.
I think
Huh.
we should talk to the cook. Probably end up killing him, to be real. But
Is the-
talk to the cook and then probably follow up with these dragon cultists.
Where's the cook located?
So we encountered the cook. Well, I guess you weren't with us actually, but
No.
we encountered the cook, in the barracks, which is just north of here.
Okay.
When we were all posing as like dragon cultists / Zentrum like mercenaries.
Yeah.
He gave us some soup.
And I got
and I think-
dropped
I
off
think
at
Chance
Cobalt
was the one-
Daycare.
Yeah, I think Chance was the one that actually recognized like
Mm-hmm.
that he was a drow, and yeah.
Yep. I was making backstory with the people and he gave me soup and I asked him how he was doing. Why is he here?
Yeah, because I remember once you found out that he was a drow, I was like, oh wait.
Yeah, that's why we make friends with random people.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
everybody wanted to leave real quick. And I was like, wait, no, I want some soup. Because
Yeah,
Chance likes
okay.
free food.
So we might be able to catch him if he's still here. It was hinted that we might be able to catch some other cultists here that we could question to get further information about Furlan Mondath and where they may have fled to and other possible leads.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
we have the letters that have 4 leads of places that they're taking prisoners to, which is Citadel Felbar before heading to Ironslag, Xantharl's Keep before heading to Mirabar, Red Larch before Waterdeep, and Thunder Tree to Neverwinter Loudwater. I don't know. That's what was in my notes. I mean, we're already at Thunder Tree, but
Xantharl's Guide to Everything. I thought
So-
it was a funny joke.
yeah, I'm just looking at my notes and trying to like figure out what I was making notes about. Like, what do I mean by before heading to Ironslag? Like, what?
I
Did they
do
go to-
remember that there was a number of different locations given to us by
And
I
map.
think the Cloud Giant. I had a fuck ton of notes
Are you guys all
from
back?
that whole thing, and I lost all of them. So,
Oh shit.
yo, Cash App is streaming right now. What the fuck? That's really weird.
Are you guys
Why are you looking at other streams?
It's just on my sidebar.
popped up?
Recommended
Uh,
channel streams.
Is Oz
What were you
back?
asking? What were you
I'm
asking,
back.
Jared?
Yeah,
if
we're all
everyone
here.
was here.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
So, if I was keeping up correctly, earlier when we started the conversation, they said there was a big group of the dragon cultists still to the, you say east of us?
They're like northwest.
Northwest of us?
It's More
Um,
just north.
From where he's standing,
Yeah,
he said
yeah.
he could see two of them standing guard at their barracks just to the north of him.
So I think the cook might be there. He also, before they left, said that I think he said some of the leadership took refuge underneath the Dragon's Keep.
Yeah.
So
So,
that
like,
would be where we were
right.
earlier, right?
The hatchery.
A lot
Yeah.
of space there.
Down in the hatchery, which
The remaining ones.
the one dude teleported out, and the other one we killed.
So
Before Haman and Osbara left, he did go. They both accompanied you along with the white and a zombie or two upstairs to the dragon's corpse, and he cast gentle repose on it. So for the next 10 days, the corpse should not decay any further than it has in the last couple hours.
Well, I found them very agreeable.
Yeah, they seem nice for some like, let's raise the dead folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, also on the way out, you notice that some of the zombies were like, you know, you saw that baker you saw a couple years ago, that postman. looks like a mom and her child.
Oh boy.
No.
I find that less agreeable.
I mean, he was definitely
The
easier
zombie
to talk to
situation
than last time.
is kind of tough to stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was at least a little bit easier to talk to than last time.
He was very focused last time on getting a task done that you could tell he very much wanted to do.
Yeah.
To the point of not caring that he killed innocent people accidentally.
Yeah, well, and then part of it,
And then
too, was
repurpose
just
them as zombies.
From his point of view, they ran into a spiked wall, and it wasn't his. He's not responsible for them.
right.
running
Yeah.
He was
into
also
against
just
zombies.
kind of a dick last time.
Like if you saw a bunch of zombies, like you were going to a an area has a well, but then you saw a bunch of zombies around, would you go the other direction, or would you be like, damn, I really need that well?
Probably go find a stream or something.
I'd probably go to the well.
Yeah.
I mean, well, chance might as an adventure. All right, so we're all back and we're back in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To the point that Ixvix was making about where what was on. You were asking like, why do my notes say this on the way to that? From your letters, did you guys copy and paste the letters out that I pasted in the chat up to your notes so you have those to look at?
Where?
Oh, what the?
In chat?
A long time ago, when you got the letters out of Frenlin Mondath's chamber, many sessions ago, I posted the letters you found there, and I think you found some other letters all like together. So some of that information is important to know what's happening in these situations.
Yeah, I have some stuff here. Let me just copy paste what I have in here, which is a jumbled mess because I was just taking it down at the time.
Yeah, it was from like 5-6 sessions ago, I think.
Yep. I would say if I am giving you the text of a physical letter, it's probably an important thing to keep.
I don't know why I don't have
Now, on this
the
map,
text.
on these maps of your maps, the one in the lower right is the one you got from the cultist's chamber, from Fernlin Mondath's chamber, and had these 4 locations. And in the letters that you found, there were other locations, if the information from Hivni, and in some of the letters, I think, that you found, there were other locations that were mentioned about where they were going. And to the point that you were making, Zill, you had, why do I have the captives that would be taking from here to go here? I think it would be important to find them on the map and mark them. Maybe mark things on this like your current location.
Which map should I use?
Your
bottom right.
Like
bottom right?
Yeah.
Here somewhere.
Oh, I'm kidding.
On the cultist's map would probably be a good spot for it. It covers a lot more area than you've.
The bottom right map is the cultist map?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
That is why it
It's
is
got-
called Map of the North from the Keepers of the Horde.
So where are we now?
It's that red dot by Helm's
The
Deep,
red
Neverwinter.
news? Okay, so that's where we're at. Okay. So Citadel Fell Bar before heading to Iron Slag.
It's the top right of that map.
Top right of the map. Oh wow.
You see it?
Okay, so Citadel is okay, so they're going to Citadel Fell Bar first. Okay, I gotta get the drawing tools here. What kind of shapes can I draw? Hold on. Alt for an ellipse. Okay. Okay. Let me get a different color. Dang it.
I mean, it's fine. It's just a marking.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to hold anybody up. You can talk amongst yourselves if you. Oops, no. I can't delete that. Right.
Trying to
I-
pay attention to what you're doing.
I do think it's an important, especially if you want to do this now, or maybe before you leave Thunder Tree or get back to Neverwinter or something. I do think it'll be important for you guys to be looking at your map, know what you've got going on where. Like on the Sword Coast map, marked marked by you guys are several dots that are marking, and that is the Sword Coast map, the whole Sword Coast map in the Sword Coast Adventurers Guide. You guys have a bunch of locations marked from random quests or knowledge of a location of items or treasures and or people that you could talk to that was marked on that map from back when you were in Tribor. So when you're thinking about where you might want to go next, you might look at putting all this information in one map, perhaps the big one you've got of the north, with a lot of the current cities and their locations and things. Perhaps having that, you can look at it maybe like, what if we go this way through these dots and go through these places?
So next one.
So, just want to throw it up. At some point, we should do that.
It's kind of dark, but hopefully it's still legible. Xantharl's Keep before heading to Mirabar. So where is all of that?
While he's doing that, do you guys, if there's anything you want to talk about or something, or if we want to hold this off till later?
You guys wanted to talk to the cook or try to find them. So while I'm marking this up,
I can bring you guys back to the
Yeah.
other screen, and then and then you can sit here on the map for a while. Is that okay? Maybe
yeah,
Ixavix is listening, but he's got the maps out.
yeah.
The maps are the size of Ixavix, so he can't really see anything.
Okay.
He's just walking
So,
around.
since there's most of us on the other one, and I only need to move Ixavix to the compilation maps, I am going to move us. So, Ixie, if you could take just a second.
Yeah,
All of us over
I'm
to Thunder
drawing
3.
stuff.
All right, let me know when you're got the mark that you've made so that I can
Okay.
move us. And then I'll move you back over individually since you're going to be the only one over there. All right?
Okay.
That is the okay. I'm moving us then.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh wait, no. Oh, I thought. Okay. Now, yeah.
Yes.
Get to it, Chris.
Huh?
All
Oh
right.
my god. Look at the Twitch chat.
I had to count them.
I still have 40,000 channel points. So.
Yeah, I've got 105.8k.
Woo.
Who wants
Just been doing that all
inspiration?
night. All right.
Dab the other way.
Gotta. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say, well, let's come on then. We wanted to go speak with Durden.
Speak. Keyword speak.
And my screen went black again. Oh.
Oh, yeah, mine did too.
Roll 20. Fix your fucking dynamic lighting.
Slow.
We're gonna go say hi. Ask
Okay,
for more
where are
stew.
we? Because I'm also dark.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Reload.
reloading my screen. There we go. It came back once I reloaded.
As you guys come out, right off having seen you working with
Probably
them,
tell him to follow us.
and kind of it's along like, how'd that go? Ribbit?
Unexpectedly well.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. They seem to be looking for items to help them with a lich that has taken over their homeland, and they're more interested in acquiring items and going home, though I don't necessarily always agree with their means to an end, I suppose, but they seem less malicious and more just concerned with returning peace to their homeland, or peaceful isolation.
Ribbit. I despise necromancy. Ribbit. They were necromancers, which seemed quite obvious.
Yes. Not
Wish
the
we-
biggest fan.
Wish we could have perhaps removed them from the land. Ribbit. What are we doing now?
Getting soup.
We are going to go talk to a lead that we have here. A drow who seems to be involved in some other nefarious deeds in regards to the Spider Queen Lolth. Is apparently here and is infiltrated this dragon cult. We're gonna go find some answers.
All right. Okay, so yeah, as you guys start approaching those barracks in the north, you see two of the guys dressed in the robes of the cultists, but they have taken off their masks and seem to be pulling the robes up in ways that make it easier for them to move rather than displaying their colors. They see you. They see you coming along and are just like, whoa, hey guys, hey, yeah, we right, Barry, yeah, we saw what you did. We're just hired hands. We're just packing up to get out of here. Okay, like we don't mean you any harm. Please, don't burn us to a crisp. I don't know what you want, but you guys are dangerous as fuck, and we would like to not die today.
We've come to speak with Durden.
I mean, I think he's just inside packing up. There's one other guy in there.
All right.
He just kind of opens the door and he's like, "Hey, Durden, those party's adventurers are out here, buddy." And he sort of just steps back. And he's like, "Yep, we're just holding the door in case we see any of those ash zombies or those twig tree creature monsters wander up here. So feel free to go on inside, guys. Just don't murder me." The other guy's like, Barry is like, "I got kids, okay? Like, I mean, just they're annoying as hell. I'd like to see them. Money, man, money. Like sometimes you pick up the job you can get."
Oh yeah, did you help murder my clan for money?
I don't think I didn't murder any kobolds, dude. Like,
Inside check.
We were working with kobolds.
Inside check. It's really bad.
He's like,
Heck,
dude.
Four.
okay, you pass. Yeah.
He's like, dude, we were working with kobolds. I ain't never killed a kobold.
And sorry about killing your god, but they were poisoning the world.
Yeah, not our god. Just a really well-paying job.
All right. Well, tell your kids I said hi.
I will. Sally will thank you for not killing her dad.
So, Taliesin is going to come in here.
I'm gonna give that guy 1 gold, and be like, get your daughter something nice.
Hey, thanks, man. It's like a whole day's work I'm gonna make today. Now that the job's, over forever.
Yeah. Again,
Dragon's
sorry, but the dragon had to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally understand. It's a dangerous creature. Needed to die. You killed it, I guess.
Yeah.
We just saw
Super-
you. We just saw
super
you killed a
killed it.
bunch. We just saw you killed a bunch of these guys, and it's not worth our lives.
No, yeah, dragon's gone.
Yep. So you guys come inside, and you see Dirt in the same way. Now he has also removed the mask. He's actually just in traveling clothes, and is oh, hey guys. So I guess you weren't new recruits, huh?
Nope.
We were not.
Guess you're
Yeah.
not
Super
not a cook, huh?
I mean, I'm a cook. I definitely was cooking. In fact, there's still some food here if you are interested in eating. We just made a meal before leaving, and I mean, we had enough that was gonna go bad for. I mean, we had enough for a lot more people who aren't alive anymore, and you're welcome to it.
Well,
Chance
thank you.
would like some soup.
You've got any more of that
Perfect.
soup there?
Yeah, plenty, but too much actually. I mean, I figured I'd make too much because the ingredients were all bad, and put some in some of these, some water skins, some extra water skins that we've got now to keep it. Maybe have some gruely soup on the on our way back.
Oh, we'll take some soup, and some to go if you have some. But why don't you sit down? We'd like to talk to you.
Oh yeah, that sounds good. And you see the guy's like, I'd rather leave. I'm terrified of you guys.
You can leave. We just need to talk to Jordan.
Jordan's like, hey, cool. Thanks, Matt. He's like, yep, no problem, buddy.
Bye, Matt.
He just throws his bag over his shoulder. He's the same thing. He's using the robe now as just a way to maybe keep dry if it starts raining or something. And he tells these guys like, I think, they talk outside, and yeah, you're all indoors. So Jordan's like, well, all right. How can I help you guys today? Seem like you've got something on your minds.
I hear you are acquaintances of the Black Spider.
Interesting. So the Thayans must have told you that. That's cool. Yeah, I do work for the same organization. Yep.
Can you tell us about the organization?
Sure. 8 Arms of Loath, headed up by 8 dangerous and beautiful drow women who hold a lot of power in the Underdark.
We hold a celebration for 8 crazy nights.
They ask a lot and expect a lot, and I do my best to please.
That is admirable. You have a good work ethic. Can you
I
tell
try.
us what?
Too
their-
bad it's evil.
Can you tell us what their intentions are? Just what are they planning? Because they were trying to forge magical weapons.
Well, I'll have to admit that I do know a little bit about you guys that maybe you didn't know that I knew about you. So just to be straightforward and on the up and up here. Um, I got a letter the other day that stated you had eliminated Nesnar over at the Wave Echo Cave, the Forge of Spells, and I think I could conclude from that you know a bit about what he was trying to do there, and as an associate of his, you know that I know what he was trying to do, which is to use the forge to forge magical weapons.
Yeah, but what is what I'm asking is what's the purpose of the magical weapons? Like, is
Is this a Drow Underdark internal matter?
or is it going to come up top? Yeah, that's the question. Should we be concerned? Should we be concerned?
I understand. I would say, it's probably always dangerous when organizations want to get their hands on magical items for the purposes of defeating their enemies. I don't know the explicit intent that they had behind getting the forge. I know they were willing to do a lot of things in order to get it, so it's probably very important to them. But now that they don't have it, I'm sure that you've put an end to that course, that path they were following to power. So, good job, guys.
Can you tell us who they're planning on fighting? Who's their enemy? That's
Yeah, who's the enemies?
And you're allowed
right.
to say no.
Certainly. I don't think in the situation that I'm in, I'm going to be saying much of the word no at the time being. So we can rest assured of that. There are a lot of enemies in the Underdark. Do you you asked to know more about the Eight Arms Wolf? Do you know anything about them? I mean, just about our culture down there in general. There's a lot of I don't know what you might call infighting. So it's very possible that Horn, who's been asking me to relay this information and broker this deal to get that working, that she may have wanted to use it against one of the others there. We've got a long history of keeping down our own. Unfortunately, that Lolth, she's a monster. She just keeps our people down.
So why do you follow her?
Oh well, it's my home. I want to protect my home, and I can't. If I go against the leaders that I go against, if I was against it, it's like I don't know. Do you have a king here, right? Like in Neverwinter, if he commanded you to do something, or Lord Protector, or whatever he is, right? If he commanded you to do something and you were in his army, wouldn't the army turn, and require that you do that task?
Sure.
We'll say for the sake of argument that's a strong maybe.
Pretty big
Right.
baby.
And I certainly fear repercussions from my superiors. Horn
Can
especially.
they
She's a feisty one.
can they find you here?
Well, has a lot of powerful magic, and magic can do a lot of terrible things, and I would especially be afraid if Lolth thought that I was betraying her in any way. I'm certainly she would find a way to take her anger out on me. Be a dangerous goddess.
So you're basically trapped.
Have you ever heard the story of Arushni and Lolth? You know much about the Drow?
Actually, no, I don't think I have.
You would know.
I unfortunately know I know some, but not tales told in the high forest from very long ago. But
Sure.
I don't know what's going on.
I won't waste any of your time with it. Long time ago, god of the elves, split himself to become multiple forms. Chose one of them to be his wife, queen of the elves, and the god. They kind of got divorced or something. And it really went awry there. She turned on him. He turned on her. He turned all of her followers into the drow. We've been cursed to live underground ever since. It's really tragic.
A lot of people getting turned on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real lots of betrayal, in my culture. So yeah, maybe is there something I can help you guys with? I mean, you look like you want something.
Well, we
We're
basically
looking
just
for
wanted
information.
information.
I happen to deal in information, and it's a bit about why I came here. Broker deal, name names, shake hands, get contracts signed.
Well,
What information?
Well, Jerk's gonna
Certainly.
reach out and shake his hand and say, "I'm Jerk. It's a
Say
pleasure to
like,
meet you."
Durden. Durden's name. Of course, you know that already. And I believe I've met the rest of you here, so that's a
Chance
fine
gives
place
them
to.
a very excited wave. Love your food still.
Yeah, thank you. I do my best. When everything that you're eating is like either some kind of lichen or mushroom, glowing mushroom that grows underground, or some kind of cave-dwelling spider or slug creature, you learn to appreciate herbs and spices.
fair point.
Dude,
Uh,
totally get that.
it is good to
Yeah.
meet you.
It's good to meet you too. It gives you a little bow and a nod.
We, I guess, are looking for information about. Well, you had already said that you weren't exactly sure on what their purpose was to forge these magical weapons. Um,
Or of some kind. I mean, they're always
a war of
warring.
some kind,
Wars
though.
against the dwarves, wars against the surface elves.
Right. Are you aware of any sort of war that this is, or is this in preparation of war?
I mean, I haven't, had any specific instruction to start preparing for a war, but once we're starting, sent to build arms and capture the items we can. Like I was sent here initially to broker with the keepers of the horde. Um, kind of unfortunately they seem a bit more interested in themselves and not really aligning ourselves. Though at the same time, I don't think that the Spider Queen would have much interest in dealing with the Dragon Queen.
I guess our main concern is who your target is in this. If you are saying that you do not know.
I mean, I don't really target anybody. I just try to facilitate things for everyone that I can facilitate.
Well, I mean
And especially when it comes down as orders to facilitate those transactions.
right. I mean, Lolth. What is her purpose? What is this coming war? Is if it's is it something that you're going to be bringing to the surface?
I mean, I would say if I were to take like an educated guess from history of my people and some of the things I've heard, the letters I've gotten from some of our more uh, you know our agents who are they're so keen at disguise. I'd say you might be finding some more trouble in the mountains underneath them, places like Mirabar. Not really coming up to the surface, but things that might border the Underdark. Age-old kinds of uh, how do you put it? Rivalries, really, right? Like everybody wants to be king of their space wherever they are.
Okay, so nothing new, just the same old, same old.
Yeah, as far as I can tell.
Okay. Well, then I guess I have some dragon cultist questions for you as well. Um,
Sure. Yeah, I didn't find a lot of use for them, but maybe I can gain some information for you. I can tell you right now that most of the guys that were here in these barracks, uh, once they, got wind of the little, I don't mean to use the word massacre, but you definitely ended a few lives out there in front of that tower.
yeah.
Um, once they
Dragon,
got wind of that,
Dragon's dead
Yeah.
too, by the way.
Wait,
Yeah.
there was a pretty big moment here in the barracks. Uh, Half the guys fled, the other half went down. Other half ran to the tower, and I think they might be hiding on there. Same, the really dedicated ones are like, we have to protect the dragon's eggs and stuff. I don't know if you've been down there, but they're
Yeah, we
kind of
got
running
those.
a bit of a dragon factory, I think.
We got those before we went upstairs to the mama. So
Interesting.
what I'm
They were
what,
the same color. I had never actually gone as
Mm.
far as seeing the eggs in the dragon, but it's interesting to know they were the same. It's odd that I always thought it was odd that the dragon didn't keep the eggs near her.
No,
Mhm.
actually, weren't.
Maybe we should
Wait.
say.
It's okay. It's okay. Hey, can I get more soup?
Oh yeah. Here,
And
let
as
me
for
let me
the
get
massacre,
let me get you a bowl. We got a couple extra.
Mm.
He can ladles you up one, just a real quick, smooth motion, hands you over, and he's like, "Here, before you leave, this flask is a pretty, or this skin has a pretty big opening. You just kind of scoop it through, close it up, and a rag over there. You can wipe it right off, and you'll be good to go. And a little meal to go."
as
Oh
for the
my God.
massacre, I only attacked those that attacked us, and those who did not surrender when asked to.
Oh yeah, see, yeah, from my point of view, when I went out there and I just, a couple of us, I checked things out, field of bodies. There's only so many words that I can. But
Yeah.
yeah, you had good reasons, and
Half of them
that's good
actively
business.
attacked us. Yeah, all of them actively came after us.
From my point of
All
view,
of them.
Jedi are evil.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah. Also, so what about these doppelgangers do you know?
Oh, yeah. If you've encountered some doppelgangers and you knew that they were doppelgangers, you must have either had some strong luck or some keen investigative skills. Well, I mean, I can tell you that the Eight Arms of Wolf love to, employ doppelgangers. They also live in the Underdark, but they often like to employ them. Um, I mean, their network is it's even hard for a guy like me to pierce. They're very much hold to their own species or their commanders. Tough cookies to crack.
So they're working directly with the Eight Arms of Lolth and their other just members that live within the Underdark. There isn't any sort of weird secret organization here on the surface.
Go far enough to say that they're definitely working with each other no matter what. But certainly taking orders from or keeping, you know, uh, keeping a good face for the people that they take their orders from, right? They're a special group. I mean, but maybe that's what happens when you can just like change your face and look and sort of also spend enough time around a person and sort of absorb their thoughts and their memories. I mean, like that is an insane power. Like that's
Yeah.
makes them just keen spies. I mean I'm sure I've been near several of them and not known. The way that they act and the way that they are.
Onion?
This Onion, he's fucking gigantic now.
Got all big.
Oh Jesus.
So I believe our pal Ixie here has some questions for you as well. Um, you may be able to answer about his clan and what happened and what is going to be planned for the survivors. Maybe where they are and where we can find them.
Yeah, I don't know how much direct involvement you had with Ferlin Mondath, if any. Have you had any interactions with Ferlin?
Hold on just a second. I'm going to respond to a whisper and then, yes, I will answer that.
Okay. No problem.
You just let Onion run around the house?
So,
No, we usually have them. They can run around like the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
but right now, Robin's letting him run around upstairs.
Cool.
yeah, so I never quite could pull off the praise be venom thing and um you know all hail the dragon queen quite so well as in order to get in and super buddy with them. But I found that they definitely were a power hungry sort. um I, I had handful of conversations as they came in and out. Tried to overhear as much as I could as they're going to and from. Tried to really, learn what I could about them in order to, ingratiate myself upon them, so that they would then, tell me more and try to build that rapport up, and then try to broker that, that real keen of a deal. But it was difficult to get close. So what in particular? Anything in particular you want to know about Furlong?
Wanted to know. They used a teleportation circle to retreat, to flee, to go somewhere, and we don't know where that was. And so I'm just digging up information to try to find out where they may have fled to, or where that teleportation circle may have connected to. I have some inkling of as to like what their ultimate destination is, but there's like a layover, from what I can tell from my information. But I don't know where that layover location is.
Right, gotcha. Sounds like there's a bit going on, and you
Yeah.
guys hear some shouting from outside. A little bit like, "Hey, hey, Durden, if you're alive, we're leaving." And he goes back. He's like, "Hey guys, that's my ride out of town. Um, think I could get them, or maybe we could ask them to stop, or maybe I could hitch a ride with you wherever you're going."
Oh, what do you guys think?
Well, let's
I would let him go.
yeah, well, one real quick question. Do you know where
Sure,
they were
sure.
planning on taking the kobolds that were planned for sacrifice, and why they were being sacrificed? Just real quick, and then you're free
Well,
to go.
all
Yeah,
right,
there's like
here,
4 locations.
let me run it. Let me run and ask them. Just hold on for 5 minutes. I can come in and ask you a question. Let them know that I'm alive,
Okay.
and that we're good to go.
Yeah,
Go?
just
Yeah.
tell them as long as
Is that
they're
okay with you
I'm gonna
guys?
as
Yeah,
long
you
as
guys?
they're not
Yeah,
trying
we'll
to
come
kill
out
us.
with you.
We're very
Yeah,
agreeable.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
let's-
Come on in.
Yeah, we're gonna come out with you.
Yeah, sure. He
Um,
just finally basically goes
did-
up the door. Oh yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say I did have Radoth stay by the door just to make sure that like he didn't try to bolt or they didn't try to come in with or do
Yep.
something, you know.
He
Oh.
just peeks out the door and he's like, "Hey guys, yeah, I'm still here, still breathing, still alive. Would you mind giving me 10, 15 minutes? Just let the sun move a couple degrees up in the sky. I'll be right back with you. We can skedaddle on out. Go to, I think you said Neverwinter.
I
We'll
mean, we
head
can
out,
all
right?
just go
Yeah.
outside, right?
Oh, but it's so comfortable inside. And my stuff's still in there. I mean, I didn't grab my bags.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't leave your stuff.
Back to the
Yeah.
bench.
That sucks.
And they kind of are like, we'll wait, but not forever. And as you peeked outside, and as Godwald is standing out there, they have a horse attached to a cart. There, ready to go. So,
Roll 20 is still mean to me. So
Oh, is it?
just put me
Yeah.
wherever we're going.
You,
Oh, okay.
you can move
Did-
me
did
over
you-
to
did you want-
the local map if you wanted to. I made all the markings that I did based on my notes. I want to go over it with you later
Oh, okay.
because some of it didn't, like at least one of it didn't make sense. But yeah.
Ba-ding, you're back. And Godwald, do you mean to be in the room with them?
Yes, please.
Why is my arrow also here? The arrow that I drew from the map, why is that also here?
I don't know. Refresh.
Well,
Maybe
yeah,
it'll go
refresh.
away.
Afraid to delete it.
Just refresh.
Just refresh first.
Yeah, I'm just refreshing.
Sometimes
right.
it gets all jank.
Now, while you're doing that, I'm gonna do something else real quick. Ba-do-do-do-ba-do. Scrolling.
Keep those doggins scrolling.
Scrolling.
I keep hearing your cat play with that toy, and I know exactly what toy it is because we have that same toy.
I
and it
mean,
makes
it's
that
the
little
inside.
mouse noise.
That
Yeah.
same noise is inside it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are like 8 different sizes and shapes of it that make that exact
Yeah.
same noise. Unless,
Yeah.
of course, the battery's dying, then it's a little deeper chirp.
Trying to figure out where you guys are.
I went to replace one of them, and it's like the way they build the thing is so cheap that just like taking the battery out basically breaks it. It's very
Jesus.
purposeful, and it makes me sad.
Oh, yeah,
Do
because they want you to
they
buy another
actually
one.
like
I mean,
the
but the
smell?
cost of the battery too, anyways. So it's just like, can I just
Yeah.
buy
Yeah.
Can I just buy the inside piece with the battery and stick it inside this little toy? Because it smells the way they want it to smell. You know,
Yeah.
that's all I was looking for. Maybe that's what I should do: buy new ones, cut them open, put it inside their old one, and be like, we're good.
It's probably cheaper to do that to get a brand new battery.
I mean, it's just cheaper to buy another one than it is. You know?
Yeah, than to get a brand new battery. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, and
Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, did you get your
I
TV?
am
Is that why
almost-
there's a TV behind you? You probably got his TV.
Okay, I just need to.
I like how on Discord there's one cat blending into a telly, and then there's another cat with his eyes just staring at us from the background.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, my boys are trying to kill each other.
Tom is just sitting at the door, like waiting patiently because he wants to play with Onion. But Onion
Aw.
bit the fuck out of your face last time.
Well, he probably likes it. I feel like that's a dog thing.
He like yelped pretty loud. Onion sometimes gets a little rough. He's been
Did
wrestling.
that not
for a
go,
long time.
Chris? Did that second part go to you?
Yeah, we actually have read that already.
Oh, all right, yeah. So then you do have it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was multiple people.
You sent that to me.
Oh shit! I just did it out there. Huh. Okay, so yeah. So sorry. What was the question? Where were we at? Sorry. Chat. I got distracted.
I guess.
So we found some information about 4 different locations that they're taking captive metallic kobolds to. And don't know which one to hit up first, other than maybe the closest one. I don't know if there's like a particular order to these or if this is all happening simultaneously. There's one that said Citadel Fellbar before heading to Iron Slag. Then there's Xanthar's Key before heading to Mirabar. He opens up the map and he shows them these locations.
Okay. Okay.
Red Larch before heading to Waterdeep, and then here before heading to Neverwinter. And I have a note here that says Loudwater. I don't know if that is related to it or not. Do you know anything about the captive metallic kobolds, and if there are any more taken from here, and if so, what direction? I'm trying to find a lead to point me in a direction as to where to head first to help rescue them.
Right. 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 I did see them bring in a few like kobolds in cages through here, which was pretty odd to me, considering there's so many other kobolds that are
Well, they're
working for us,
metallic.
right? I
That's
did.
that's why. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So kind of like you, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, Yeah, I did see them come in with cases. I didn't really catch wind of exactly what the purpose was that they were doing with them. They didn't seem to speak about that much here.
Is
I think I may have
sacrificing them.
overheard. That's unfortunate. I have overheard. Actually, I think the locations that you're mentioning, those all sound really familiar as places that they were splitting them up and delivering them to. Sacrificing is dangerous business when you're looking for cultists. They're probably looking for some kind of complete some sort of spell or something with
Yeah.
them.
That must be a
Yeah, it's
massive spell if they need to spread it out upon like a large area with a specific kind of rare uh, personage as a metallic kobold, and of course, dragon cultists. We all know who they ultimately worship.
right. Yeah, that the Dragon Queen. That's why I
Yep,
don't think the Queen of Spiders would be much interested. I don't believe they get along. But
that's right.
that's way above my pay grade, right? Like just a just a man trying to make his way in the world today.
A smart man with keen ears and eyes, and a smart mind, able to pick out details where most cannot.
Yeah, it's kept me alive for a long time, and
Yeah,
it works well for me. So
yeah,
thanks for noticing. Actually,
yeah.
it's really kind of you.
Well, I
It's
mean,
kind words. Have you had any
yeah.
soup yet? I mean, it's pretty good.
No, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't need any soup. I really appreciate it though. I mean, it smells
Gotcha. Yeah.
wonderful, but uh I'm just all business right now. Business, business, business. Like I'm all concerned about this. I can't eat. It smells
Oh,
great, but I'm just not hungry when I'm just like I gotta figure out these things.
I mean, yeah,
Uh,
like I know, death, destruction, really it can turn the stomach, and danger and fearing about your family.
Can
I'm
I?
sure. It
yeah.
sounds like it was super dangerous. I, I I don't know where they're heading. I have heard a bit about the lodge, though. Have you guys heard about the lodge?
I haven't heard of a lodge. What is
Interesting.
this lodge?
So I think it's on. Oh, it's one of those smaller towns on the way to Harnest. I just had a map. You guys happen to
Yep, Letus pulls out his map.
Yeah, yeah.
have a map?
He pulled
Oh,
out
cool.
I pulled out the cultist map beforehand when I was pointing out the
Oh,
Okay.
locations.
Well, that'll be
hell
my
yeah,
bad.
Yeah.
great. Thanks, guys. Yeah, this is really helpful. I definitely, if we're you guys just brought up this one, the in the lower right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
the one that I was pointing out the locations. You
that was it.
see
Yeah, yeah,
most of
yeah,
the arrows. Oh, it got rid of that one arrow that I was talking about.
yeah.
Because like one of them it said Thunder Tree to Neverwinter and then to Loudwater, which was just like a big long line that went to Loudwater down here. And I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
know
Thunder
if
Tree is over there more, isn't it? All right.
yeah, I
I'll,
didn't know
I'll,
if Loudwater, like if I wrote down my notes correctly, if
yeah,
that was the order of that they were moving.
yeah. No, this is really helpful. Yeah, I think you're right. I could see it like. Anyway, I'm pretty sure they have some kind of like like a lodge. I don't really know if they're in some kind of strange fraternity or something. I mean, I suppose they are like a strange fraternity, right? So maybe it's like maybe it's
Totally.
like maybe if you like earn enough gold dragons. You get to. Well, I suppose they would be. Maybe if you earn enough of black dragon stars, you can go to the lodge, whatever. But it definitely this Loudwater place, and he
You
taps
get
his
your
finger.
thetan levels high enough, then you can
Yeah, whatever that is.
learn where they take the 747s. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that I heard about a lodge over in Loudwater. It's a place where they
Loudwater.
like to gather and hang out. It's something that Furlum said that I just managed to overhear. Yeah, people they love to talk when you're give them food and feeding them. And it's really, I think it's like a great time to relax and do it. Maybe it's all just kind of
Okay.
natural part of when I where I grew up, and then how I ended up kind of in this business. Guy likes to talk to people. People like to talk to you when you're talking to them.
Yeah, you're a really personable person for certain.
Thanks.
Just like chatting with you, just like involuntarily sharing information with you. I don't know what it is about you.
Thanks. That's funny.
I would like to do an
It's a shame you're not
insight.
hungry, man. It's
Yeah, I know. I'm really sorry. I'm just I'm just so into business. Can I insight check him about his eagerness to feed me
I would say
and
yes.
the
but,
sinister plot of it?
but I did
Yeah.
hear Talis
Right.
wanted to do an insight check on something first. So go ahead.
So I guess I'm trying to insight check to see so he clearly is working for Lolth, but isn't
Yeah,
necessarily like a diehard Lolth fan. He's just kind of trying to get by with the circumstances that he is under based on what he has said. So I kind of want to get, I guess, an idea of how tied to this is he? Is this someone that we could, if possible, rely on information in the future?
Okay, so you
If I
want
set
to.
something up.
So you're trying to say do you feel like he's being truthful
Yeah, is he just is
now,
he
and would that then lead to being able to perhaps get more
right? So he's
information through
clearly
and from him?
yeah, so he's clearly in danger at this point. He's scared of us. Though he, based
Yeah,
on the
you
things that
said
he's
as much.
saying, yeah, but based on the things that he's saying, it's kind of hey, I'm just trying to get through life. My circumstances are that I work for Lulf, and that's kind of where I'm at, and I'm just trying to not get fucking murdered. So I'm just doing my part, and he seems to be pretty willing to give us information and be honest with us, though he is in danger. But at the same time, it's he could, if if the fucking arm, the 8 arms of Lolth found out that he was just freely giving us information, then he could possibly be in danger to that as well. So it's I guess I want to know essentially if I can trust him.
If you
I'm-
can adopt him.
No, but I have an idea.
Adopt him. Chance wants to adopt him.
Yeah,
He did ask for a ride.
Yeah, I right. He seems pretty open to working and helping with us. So I have an idea. If I gain the sense that he is seems pretty neutral, I would say. He doesn't seem good or bad. He just seems pretty neutral. So he kind of seems on par with what Taliesin is, in the sense of just kind of being I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck's happening and get through life and not get murdered.
Okay. So what are you trying to? So that's a lot.
So
I feel it's a string of thoughts here.
I'm trying to
You want to roll an insight check
suss out
on.
if I am correct in that assessment.
Okay.
Is his attitude genuine?
Yeah, essentially, is he just playing us in the sense of, oh, okay.
He's scared of us, or is he being genuine with
Is
us?
he just playing this? Is he really good at playing off
Oh.
that he's not scared just because he knows he's in danger, and so he's just trying to tell us what we want to hear, or
Yeah.
is he legit I don't really care that much either way. I'm just trying to figure
Surviving.
out survive. Yeah.
Okay.
Is he new?
Is he legit?
Yeah.
Is this seeming of this neutrality legit?
Oh, I hope my baby
Right,
boy cook is
17.
legit.
It is difficult to tell with him. He is doing all those things. He's divulging information. A lot. It seems to line up with the things that you know. On the surface, it seems like honesty. His intentions are hard to read.
But he seems like he's being honest.
Yeah,
And
to you, he seems like he's being
forthcoming
pretty
with us.
honest. Yeah, like he's being honest and forthcoming. What that intention is that's with him. It's very hard to tell. You can tell talking is his
Yeah.
business.
It'd be cool if
Um,
we had somebody here who can tell if people's telling the truth.
You heard that? He is telling the truth. That just like he's not telling the whole truth, but he's telling us enough that his story checks out.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go out on a limb here. Do I still have my old Harper badge? Because I got a new one.
You might. Oh, because he gave you the upgrade.
I have an
badge.
upgraded version of it.
You have a level 2 Harper badge.
Right.
Yeah, you
Got
probably
the
would have the
silver
old one.
pass.
You know, the patch or whatever, right?
Yeah, I would like to pull that
Yeah,
out and be
silver
like,
pass. Still waiting for
uh,
that gold.
yeah, I'd like to pull that out and be like, listen, I get the sense that you may have a lot of knowledge of the goings on of the world, especially the Underdark, and you seem to be genuine. I believe that your intention is less to further a plot of evil and more that you are just trying to make the best of the life or the hand that you were dealt.
It's nice of you.
I am part of a group of people who share information, and that is all we do. If if you accept this badge, others who wear this badge share information with each other, and kind of help spread the word to what's going on in the world. And I feel as though if we can kind of have somebody who is also telling us what's going on in the Underdark, as well as you guys knowing what's going on up here, that might benefit us both. Is this something that you're interested in?
I mean, that sounds pretty cool. I think like I mentioned, it's tough for me to I don't want to getting out that I've shared anything with you. There's a sharp end of an axe waiting for me, right? If I
Right.
figure that out. So you're all. I mean, I know it's kind of like a big threatening, massive, scary looking adventurers that kind of came in here quite abruptly, but you're all on the level, right? Like you're not gonna like
on a level.
stab me in the back as I'm walking out of here,
Chance puts a
No,
hand over
I'm-
his heart, like, I would never. You make
I've
Chance-
way
Chance
too
would
never
much
say he
stabbed
would
at
never.
someone.
I am offering
insight check, Chance. 20. No, I'm just kidding.
I would never stab you in the back.
We-
Do it
I
in the
don't
front.
have
I'd
any
stare you in the eyes as I gutted you.
Exactly. Daughter.
Oh,
I have
Fair
no
enough,
intention
fair
on
enough.
killing you, though I feel like this could just be beneficial for the both of us, and I feel like
well, I feel like I will do my best to. I mean, despite my just previous comment, to graciously accept what you're giving me. Sorry, you guys had me a little nervous about I'm one
this
guy.
is sure. This is not it's kind of a you don't really go around telling everyone that you are a part of the Harpers, but
The
if you see the symbol,
with the harp
you-
on it too. It's good.
yeah, if you see the symbol, then you know that you are within company that you can speak freely with and share information. And your information, if you tell another Harper, will eventually reach me, as well as my information will eventually reach yours.
That's fantastic. Do you know anybody in Neverwinter? I think that's where the guys want to go, or we're headed. Maybe I could get in touch with somebody.
Yes, actually, as it has it, he saved us from
has it?
punishment. Yes, he actually helped us out when we ran into a bit of trouble after dealing with these dragon cultists. And we're imprisoned. He actually vouched for us. His name is, I don't remember because I lost all my notes.
Aldar Robbins.
Yeah, Aldar Robbins. And
What,
you
the
see,
guy from the inn?
you see Durden
Yes.
kind of
KFC?
like he looks up, makes a mental note of it, mouths the words.
he was
Aldar
in,
Robbins.
what was the
Okay,
fucking
yeah, I
inn
can,
that
I
he
can
was
remember
in?
that name.
I can't remember what the inn was.
Or something like that.
The what?
Rumored Hearth.
Rumored Hearth. Yeah, Eldar Robbins and the Rumored Hearth. If you
Aldar
ask to speak with him,
Robbins at the Rumored Hearth.
um,
Yeah, I can remember
he
that.
can fill you in a little bit more.
And like a trap, they'll just stick in there and don't even need to write it down. It's like one of those things, you grow up and you grow up in the mean cave paths of the Underdark, and it's a rough place.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Well,
Bit of a street urchin, really, like it was always kind of tough. I feel pretty lucky that I've kind of gotten as far as I've been able to go. Even coming above ground is sometimes cool, although like I do hate it when it's sunny up here. That sucks, you guys.
How can you actually be above ground? Is it? Is
It
it
doesn't-
It doesn't feel good most of the time. I usually wear some pretty, big hats, keep the sun off me directly. I have these really cool glasses of defeating sunlight. You see, it picks up some shades and he puts them on. Like they're pretty slick. They're like solid, like almost like a solid black. It's like it kind of helps my eyes. Yeah, it's usually a bit too bright for me.
Dude, those are so cool. You rock
Well,
them well.
This has been
He kind of flips them up onto his eyebrows and is like, "Thanks."
this has been very educational, and it's been a lot of fun chatting with you. But I think your friends are waiting for, well, not friends, your coworkers are waiting for you. And Ixie, the longer we leave those cultists below ground at the dragon hatchery, the longer we are leaving your family in danger. So we should probably
Exactly. That's why I wanted to head next.
we should probably head over there and well, since we know that some of them are reasonable, maybe try to talk to them first. And if that doesn't work, then we can violently interrogate them.
Okay, yeah.
That's not
Give it-
scary at all.
Yeah.
we will we're gonna go deal with that. Though
Cool.
it was good to talk to you, and if you are
Yeah,
still
same.
in Neverwinter when we get there, I may see you at the Rumored Hearth then.
Oh, cool! You guys are going back to Neverwinter too. Awesome.
Yeah, you'll definitely know when we get there. We're going to be dragging a giant dragon carcass with us. So
Nice. So you guys did actually kill that thing. I just thought you killed a bunch of the cult.
Nah.
Dragon's dead.
no,
Wow,
yeah,
yeah.
it was ruining the environment. Our friends here, we couldn't have that. So also that dragon was
Actually,
kind
kind
of a
nice
jerk.
compared to my neighborhood. Really, this is ruined, huh?
Have you
You
met?
guys got it good up here.
Did you have a chance to meet the dragon?
No. So I quickly learned that Venom Thing had a bit of a taste for elven blood, and
Yeah.
I kind of did my best to dance around that as best I could.
Well, good call, cause
Yeah.
yeah, she got all slobbery and hungry when she met Taliesin here. So we
That
It was
does not
either-
surprise me.
it was either we had to
I also
put her
found
down
some
or he
elven
got eaten.
leavings.
Oh,
There was
really?
some feet left right in the boots.
That's
Yeah,
not
these
good.
boots
The
had
boots you're
some
wearing.
feet in them. Yes, they had some feet in them when I found them.
That's kind of dark, you guys. But all right.
Well, yeah,
Not as dark as the Underdark, though, right?
No, man, it absolutely isn't. Like it's pretty shitty down there. Like you said, this is
Yeah.
ruined. Like this is nice compared to where I'm from. So that's cool. But if you don't mind, I'm just gonna grab my stuff here and head out with the boys. Catch that ride back to Neverwinter. It's a long walk, and they have got the last cart and the last horse. I think the rest of those cultists are trying to hold in and bunker down and defeat those who would challenge their queen. It's the kind of stuff they say all the time. All hail. It's weird. No good. Don't
Well,
like them.
We'll go deal with those guys.
Cool.
You know what?
Cool.
More dead dragon cultists is more necklaces for me. I'm gonna look
There we
like
go.
Mr. T when
You
I
gotta
come.
stop
Next
saying
time you
things
see
like
me.
that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Anyways, Durden, it was
yeah,
grand to meet you. Thank you so
Chance,
much for the food.
Chance, a pleasure. Yep.
I like to shake your hand, and I hope to see you
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, you give you a little clasp in the hand. It was nice to meet you too. I appreciate you guys being so friendly and open with me, and I'd like to always kind of return that to you as well. But I'm just gonna step out here, and you see him kind of step to the door, and he's like, "Shit." Well, guys, they left with the last cart and horse in town. Could I maybe hitch a ride with you?
Well, we do have some
Ah.
business underground to take care of before we leave.
Oh, right. You're gonna go with the rest of them.
Well, no, we don't
It's
really.
possible.
We don't
If
want to
they're-
kill them, but if we have to, I will.
If they're involved in the murder of my clan, they might
Gotcha.
die.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Really. Yeah. If I had
So-
family, I'd probably feel that way too.
Oh, sorry you don't have family.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's not so bad. I make friends everywhere a little bit, but
You got found family.
I would like to
I
link
make
one of
friends
my
where I
arms
go.
with
I
his.
travel. Oh, yeah,
Like-
hey.
Durden, welcome to this family. We may
Oh, shit.
die any minute,
Oh God.
but we're
I-
family.
I am terrified.
Yeah,
So-
dude,
Yeah,
I'm.
If
I
you
mean,
trust
I-
me, I might blow you up.
I've been holding back
Chances-
a little pee for this whole time, but you're not really helping.
Chance
It's
is
okay.
really trying to adopt a DM NPC.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so Durden, I'm an orphan from the streets of Neverwinter, and
Holy shit.
also a tiefling. So like, I got it pretty bad. Not as bad as you being an Underdark, of course, but yeah, this is a
I
good
mean,
little
aren't you
group.
like, aren't you people from like the Nine Hells or something?
Yeah,
I don't
but
know,
I my mom was, but I'm not. I'm from Neverwinter.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's probably.
So he's from
Also
the 4.5
terrifying.
hells.
All right,
for-
so
yeah, I mean,
uh,
there's levels to them, right? Like,
yeah, you're free to hang out with us if you want, but
cool. Yeah, I'm not really into the danger part of the thing you're describing, so
Guys,
I
we
might-
could
I might
storm with what's her name and Tyre because he's gonna die any second if he goes with us. So
Dormy. What do you
yeah.
mean?
yeah, we'll just let him hang out with Tyre and the little shiny kobold.
Oh, you have more compatriots in your party than just the
Yeah,
five of you.
Yeah, we've been
Okay.
making friends.
Okay.
They
Six of
too,
you- six
like
of
you, are suited to a more of a back line.
Got you. Yeah. No, I'm more
Seem
I'm
like
more,
you're good.
I'm,
with
more, I'm a
information and
desk
that's
job
odd.
kind of guy, right? Like, I mean, I could use a dagger.
Do you need a dagger? I've got one right here.
Do you have not a dagger?
I
You
have a
sound like
dagger.
the kind of guy I'd like to send in like 5 days before the fight and then get you out 2 days before the fight,
You don't have
So
a
you're like-
weapon?
miles away.
I have
Kitchen knives.
yeah.
You got
I-
kitchen knives, right?
Look, I got a nice dagger. It's like, I don't mean to show off or anything, and he pulls out a very fine gilded dagger.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you can defend yourself
seem
and
like you're
everything.
It looks
More,
sharp. Like
You're-
wet
you seem
stone
like-
this morning.
yeah. You seem like you're more into, you're better at like the espionage and infiltration, less of a fighter.
More sneaky sneak, less stabby stab.
I've heard lots of those words to describe my job role in the past. Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's.
Anywho,
So yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll yeah, if I could grab a ride with you guys, because the walk back to Neverwinter is long and dangerous. There's goblins in these woods. There's wandering. I mean, I think we saw a troll the other day. Like it's crazy. I'd prefer to stick with a group. It's a real shame I missed that cart. But you know, sometimes this stuff happens, right? Those guys are out for themselves.
Oh yes,
Sucks.
yes. Sometimes.
All right. Well,
All
we
right.
But it's
should
okay. You got us now.
get moving.
That's very kind of you.
But
yeah.
yeah, let's
All right.
you can hang out with the other ones who.
Yeah, is it pretty safe? Where are they hanging out? Safe?
Yeah, it's safe. They're hanging out up with the dead dragon, just kind of making sure no one takes it.
Okay. I mean, yeah, if it's dead, I suppose that's probably safer than if it were alive. So yeah, that sounds good. I'd love to. Thanks. I really appreciate you guys offering me the ride and all. It's I feel like traveling with groups much better than not.
All right,
Sure. All right.
advancing. Oh wait, wrong game.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
That's
is
just
11
you.
It is. It is 11:23.
Yeah.
So rather, I mean, I'm cool if you guys want to keep doing things, but if not,
I think we could call it there.
Yeah, we can call it.
We're
Yeah, that's
heading
fine.
back to
Sounds
the
good.
tower.
All
well,
right.
you met Durden. You had a fine conversation with Haman and Asbara. So overall successful afternoon.
I'm so glad we didn't kill him.
Yeah.
The sun is
I-
starting to.
Do personally feel like
Reach
we're
that
trusting
line.
him a bit too much, but
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
He's gonna
I-
betray us so bad.
Was so suspicious of that soup he really wanted to give to me.
I
hate
just
it,
really
dude.
like Drow a lot. So
you gave you gave
Give him a
a
Harper's badge.
yeah you
I know.
gave a an
do like
agent
him.
of the Eight Hands of Lolth access to a teleportation and the communication like
he doesn't know anything
network.
about the teleportation network.
he's a smooth
Yeah.
talker.
I don't
He'll find
really
out.
even know anything about the I know like the locations and stuff. If he does well, if the other Harpers don't suss him out, which was kind of relying on that too, was like
Kind of relying on that
Interesting.
checks and balances secondary
Yeah,
authentication
right?
system.
Yeah.
Like why don't
Like-
I feed this spy to these other spies and see who comes out on top?
right, yeah, like I'm gonna
Spy
like,
versus
but also
spy.
too like.
Yeah.
All right, if he is a neutral party in the sense of like how Taliesin is, like, dude, what's his name?
Jordan?
No, the guy that gave me my Harper's badge back in Phandalin.
Oh.
I mean, he didn't really know me very well, and he gave it to me. And it's just kind of like I don't know this dude super well, but he seems pretty neutral. He seems like he's just trying to make the best of what he has, and he just doesn't want to get killed.
Yeah, like
and
out of the
so-
first few questions, it was like established that he couldn't
Yeah, it
really
isn't
get
like-
away.
He doesn't seem like he's really like all hail Lolth and
Darren-
like
Darren
you know.
Darren Edermath.
Well,
Yeah,
But again, he is a spy. Like that's his job. Is to,
right.
to
But I
fit in.
Is to be
also rolled.
shifty.
Which
I
they
rolled
literally
a
told
spy.
you.
I know that he is a spy, but so am I. Like,
Technically, yes.
so like and like so is like I mean I get that like being a spy is kind of like you're telling half truths and stuff like that. So it's like he
Subterfuge.
seems like no less honest than I am.
Mm,
I completely believe that he is just trying to survive. And
Yeah,
I completely
it's
believe
also,
the
like-
Eight Arms of Lolth are in charge of his life.
Yeah.
all right. Well, I'm gonna kill the stream here. So good night, internet, and we'll see.